Whatever you hope to find, it's a pretty good use of your time. Let's learn and talk about things like squirrels and satin strings. You might think we're bananas. It's the Biggie, Kelly, and your Nana show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Biggie, Callie, and Nana show. So, today we're going to talk about, I have the uncomfortable question.
Yeah.
So,
Let's get rolling.
all right, I want to hear from you guys what
I'm lighting up for this
music, what music genre would I be surprised to know that you like?
Oh, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Which music genre
of
you
music.
guys would be surprised that I like, and vice versa?
Yes. Or you can even like narrow it down to a song that like is completely goes against your character or something.
So
nobody would ever know.
Because we know what kind of music we all like to some extent, so we want to try to surprise each other, right?
Yeah.
So dig deep for something that's just fucking embarrassing to talk about.
You really like it.
And you're just embarrassed to talk about it.
Yeah, don't say it just because you're trying to answer the question. Like, you really like it.
Something that you maybe would be afraid to admit in public that you like.
Yeah.
It's like your secret guilty pleasure kind of music.
Yeah.
Oh.
Who wants to go
Oh,
first?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
So, this isn't my favorite genre of music, but I am a very culturally and mood-wise, whatever I'm doing, the music has to fit. For example, when I was in Iraq and we would ride around on the bus, when I would get in the bus, they would have the music playing.
Yeah.
And everybody would throw in
Like
headphones
Farsi.
and be like, yo, turn that shit off. And I'd be the only one sitting there like, yeah. And every morning when I'd wake up and there was like morning prayer going on, you know, I'd just stand there quietly. And I actually enjoyed the morning prayer.
Some of that music is beautiful.
It's soulful. Yeah, for sure. Got a lot of history behind it.
There's real feeling behind some of that Middle Eastern. I absolutely love cultural music, like folk. Whatever that country is, their folk music, I love it.
That's what I'm referring to. Went down to Central America, listened to... Now, granted, when I was in Central America, everybody there was listening to, like, Whitesnake and AC/DC. So I was like, what in the fuck? That's kind of odd. But I enjoyed, like, reggae and shit like that because I felt like that was the tropics. That's where that music originated. That's where it comes from. So I enjoyed that. So
Reggae does not come from South America.
well, it comes from Jamaica, but no, not South America, Central America.
Jamaica.
Would you consider the Caribbean to be Central America?
It has a similar vibe to Central America. I think it's part of the. It's a territory of the United States. I'm pretty sure. Isn't it?
We've talked about taking the chance to look stupid. Geography is not my strong suit. I guess it's on that near the equator. It's central in that. But I don't know if it's culturally you would.
Well, no, culturally it's pretty similar. I mean, when I was in...
Because one is, especially the Caribbean, is very French, whereas a lot of like Mexico and Honduras and stuff.
Oh, no, if you go to Belize, it's very French there. Almost everybody speaks French in Belize, and that's dead in the middle of Central America. Okay. So, I mean, there's a strong... when I was there was the BAT sub, so it was the Royal British Marines. The French, all of the, not islanders, but all of the local natives, they all spoke French fluently. That and Spanish. So it was like, you got English, Spanish, and French right there. So, I mean, that was dead center of Central America. So what I'm getting at, though, is their lifestyle and their culture closely resembles, you can go to the Dominican Republic and go to, say, Colombia. And it's almost like being in Philadelphia versus going down to Mississippi. Granted, it's different, but it's still somewhat similar as far as American culture goes, which we all know America is just I always struggle with this word. Monogamy. An amalgamy?
An
amalgamation.
Amalgamation.
I like that word.
It's an awesome
It's hard to get it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we all know that.
Well,
that
culturally
American
speaking, we're very blended.
Right, but you can still tell where you're at. I mean, you can still tell you're in America whether you're in Philly or whether you're in Mississippi. So
different subcultures, but there's an overarching culture.
And that's what I'm referring to by, say, Colombia versus the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
So that's the type of music that I liked was Islander music. I guess you could call it that.
It's their folk music, their cultural music.
So I enjoy things like that.
It's
so that's
just
super
so
important
like
Bob
Marley.
Yeah.
It's just so I absolutely love folk music from different cultures. It's just so genuine and real.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
And
one of my favorite of all time is any Irish music. Be it original Irish folk music.
Like actual folk.
Or be it Dropkick Murphys and Flogging Molly. I like them too. They're just the Americanized version.
Kind of like punk rock mixed with folk.
Exactly. I like that as well. But that's one of my hugest things, especially when I'm drinking. It's all Irish music all the time. I don't know why.
And it probably is absolutely no surprise to anybody, but, I listen to a lot of, like, Japanese, like, Zen, Kodo type music and shamisen, a lot of that cultural.
Would that be something like that you hear on, like, a Soundscapes channel? Because I don't know anything about that music.
What's a Soundscapes channel?
Like ethereal music.
Oh, like New Age?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like
Enya?
I don't... Well, Enya's Irish. I've actually been to her house, not like...
Enya?
Yeah, I mean, not like she invited me in and we
Enya?
had a spot of tea. But, like, in Dublin, I've walked by it.
Oh, okay.
And, at least one of her houses. And, no, it's not New Age. I don't like New Age. I think it's weird, and I think they bastardize something genuine, which is folk. Because that's people's culture. Mm-hmm. And so I really don't like soundscapes, I think is what you called it. This is just straight up like, oh, dung, 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 dung.
Okay.
And like little, like, shakuhachi, like Zen flute. Mm-hmm. And it's very, I can send you some stuff later.
I heard some Mongolian metal not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. Who?
That was sick.
The band is called, that Who band has gotten really big.
I don't know, but they were out in the desert and they were in front of like an army. It made it look like it was, Khan. And man, they were going hard. I was like, holy shit. And the guy was like, Berserk.
Okay.
Yeah, he got deep. And I was like, damn.
Like Mongolian throat singing?
Yeah, but the drums and everything behind it just sounded wicked. Like, I would not want to hear that from my enemy if they were on the other side of the ridge. That would freak me the fuck out. So, anyways, back to the original question. I'm a big culture person and mood person. So it depends what mood I'm in and what I'm doing.
Makes sense.
So what's your most embarrassing guilty?
Right, and that's where I'm getting. I don't find it embarrassing. I just think it would surprise people. I don't have a music that like I listen to that would embarrass me because those types of music I just refuse to listen to because I don't like them. Mm-hmm. But the one that would surprise people is there's not really a definition for it, but to me it's like rich person music, and this is what it's like modern rich person music. So for example, if you see a movie. Mm-hmm. And there's like a rich guy that's putting on his tie and screwing a silencer onto a sniper rifle. And in the background you hear... And you hear some lady...
Like trapped music?
It's... Portishead is the #1 biggest producer of this type of music. It's like a... Portishead...
Portishead?
Or Portishead. Yes.
It's the name of a town in England. It's a trapped band. I love Portishead.
Oh, okay.
It's like super lounge music.
Lounge music. Exactly. Okay, that's a perfect way to describe it. Rich person music, a.k.a. So,
I just consider it kind of like, it's electronica.
Exactly.
It's
your life
basically,
is that good.
They're like electronica lounge music.
And her voice is very mellow, like it's very calming. So a lot of times I will turn the music or turn the lights down in my house and just turn on like mood lamps and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'll be in there making dinner by myself, listening to this in the background. You can hear it in the background.
There used to be...
And I will do that, like, as a date. And somebody will come over and, you know, a girl will come in and she'll be like, oh my. And then she walks into this.
Music Biggie.
And then maybe it is Get Busy Music.
Well, a lot of the songs have
but
sexual
she'll walk
references.
in and, like, my kitchen is the nicest, in my opinion, part of my house, to where if she walks in and she sees a really nice kitchen and I'm making her a dinner and there's, like, rich people lounge music going on in the background, that's kind of my vibe.
Is that your
that's
way?
what I'm shooting for.
There's
Is that
kind
my
of
reel in?
there's kind of a level of classiness to it. It's kind of like if you came over and like smooth jazz was playing, you're listening like Paul Desmond and
That's
on
exactly
the
what it
vinyl.
is. Exactly, but it's
like,
not,
oh, this guy is sophisticated.
Why does
It's
American
sophisticated.
Psycho flash
Exactly.
in my brain right now?
Maybe.
Nothing against you.
Have you felt the dexterity of my card? Yes. No, it's 100% American Psycho. But that dude had class. So,
You know, he really did. You can't
did.
say he didn't.
yeah, he had a lot
That's
of
kind of the whole point of the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be mine, would be lounge music.
Well, there used to be a little bar that we went to. It was one of those bars that you could go in wearing a Slayer t-shirt and torn jeans or a three-piece suit and fit in. And it actually was this little bar, a door. It's like something from a movie. This door under another building downtown with just no sign.
This sounds like a speakeasy.
Yeah, seriously. There's no sign. You just had to know it existed, right? And you would go in, and
This sounds like the Vampire Club on Blade.
Yes.
Where everybody's real rich and laying around half naked in three-piece suits with glaring eyes.
yes,
Listening to lounge music.
there's a line to get in, and they hold a card up, and you have to tell them what's behind that card, or they won't let you in. No, it's not quite like that.
Oh,
but
okay. Thought you were
but
being
it's got
serious.
that kind of vibe. Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things you had to know someone to get in. Not to get in, but just to know it exists.
To know where it's at.
Yeah, to know where it's at and what hours they were open. And when you went in, they played
Is this
Portishead.
bar still open?
No, sadly.
So they played Portishead. Oh,
But they
I like
played
this.
Portishead and like Mazzy Star. That kind of like
Yes!
slightly,
I love that.
kind of like
Yeah.
low. It's like low key, slightly depressed,
Yes.
like lounge bar music, and it's just classy and
Yeah.
awesome.
That is so good.
And I was actually watching some Portishead videos the other night.
Portishead.
Porta potty.
Yeah, porta potty. Gonna go over to the Portishead and take a number 2, guys. I'll
I
be
was
back
like,
later.
what is he talking about? Portishead.
Yeah, they're from England, so they just named it after a little town.
And I've
England.
never heard of them, so I'll have to Google it when I get home.
Oh, we got
They're
gotta show
good.
you. Yeah, you'll like
I
it.
love that
Lounge
band.
music.
You know Mazzy Star though,
Oh, absolutely.
If you like Mazzy Star, you'll like Portishead.
for sure.
Yeah. Now Mazzy Star has a more acoustic, psychedelic Doors kind of influence because of Robeck,
For sure.
but they fit in together. You can they have the same mood and vibe.
Same genre, 100%.
And I don't even know if they're the same genre. They just have the same mood. Like you can, if you're vibing on one, you can vibe on the other.
Yeah.
But you could put on Portishead on what's the damn thing that everybody uses, the app for music? Pandora.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll switch to Mazzy Star for sure,
Okay,
100%. And I mean, honestly, if you just type in Portishead on Pandora, you can vibe all day.
All right,
everything
I'll do
it
that.
switches to is good shit.
All right, I have a
Especially
little
if
road
you're in an
trip tomorrow,
apartment,
I'll do that.
set up the mood. No, wait until you're in your apartment, like cooking dinner or something. Set up the
Okay.
mood, and you'll vibe all day.
Cooking my 2-hour Whole30 compliant meal. to
There you go.
support us.
Seriously, it'll put you there. I know I sound
Yeah.
passionate about this because I
No,
am. That's
I'll
my,
do it,
That's
for
my
sure.
mood. That's my favorite.
I'll do
thing.
it. 2 hours. to
See, but I
cook that
couldn't
meal.
drink beer in that essence. Like it would be nothing but
Depression.
no. It would be like mixed drinks, like a vodka tonic or something.
When I was there, it was like rum and cokes.
Yeah. Now the other day, I recently got the idea to sit down and write a fictional novel about the end of the world. I'm just obsessed with, I just bought like 4 books about the end of the world. So when I sat down to write this fictional book, though, and the book is about me specifically, it starts out very sad. But when I sat down to write it, I did it after work, and I was sitting in my office here at the house, and I was sitting there drinking wine, and I said, what would go along with this wine really well? And this is getting back to what I was saying to you guys in the beginning, or before the cast started. When I'm working specifically, I like to listen to music in another language or music without words. And the reason why is because if I'm listening to AC/DC while I'm working, I'm singing along and not paying attention to shit. Yeah. But I listened to the other day when I was drinking wine, I said, what is the mood that matches really good wine and that I can work to and not have to pay attention to the words? So I turned it on. Seems like his name's Popolov or something. It's an original Italian composer from way back in the day. Opera. Seems like his name's Pavlov or something like that. But anyways, started with a P. But he's old school opera, original Italian stuff. And
Pavarotti, are you?
No. Pavarotti? Because he's not old school. When you say old school, I'm literally thinking like 1800s, 1700s.
Oh, no, not that old school.
Well, then it could be Pavarotti.
Pavarotti, like Ave Maria,
Is he still living?
I don't know. If he is, he's ancient.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if it was Pavarotti. Yep, that's him.
Pavarotti.
Pavarotti. Yeah.
I love classical.
That's some kind of short-sightedness when you're like, when I thought of Pavarotti, but I skipped out, no, that couldn't be it, because my brain is assuming that you're in the 17th and 18th century. That's
but still, a lot of what
crazy stuff.
A lot of what Pavarotti was singing was written in the 18th century.
This is true.
Like Bach, Mozart.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know anything about Italian opera. I really don't. But when I heard his, I was like, oh, I legitimately, and this is some Goodfellas music. I definitely enjoy this.
Yeah,
so,
taking the garlic with the razor blade.
Yeah, you gotta so fine that it just boils up into nothing.
Yeah, I remember having tea in a little bistro in Italy, Little Italy, and they were playing like Frank Sinatra, and we were having some tea, and at the very back was a bunch of fat Italian dudes in velour suits with like gold chains.
Oh God!
Drinking their little espressos.
I said this years ago. I remember I told you that I wanted to do it, and you laughed because we laughed about Fat Tony, me changing my name to Fat Tony, just start being identified as Fat Tony, and wearing a tracksuit everywhere I go with a gold chain with all the chest hair hanging out, just start cussing at people and being violent all the time. Callie was like, "You should definitely become Fat Tony with your tracksuit." So
that's how The Simpsons, right?
Yeah, because I came up with it I'd never even seen the clip that you sent me, but then you sent me a Simpsons clip with a guy named Fat Tony with a tracksuit on that was going around messing with people, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know this was a thing until he sent me that, but yeah, I just happened to nail it. But yeah, what I was getting at though is I like to listen to those types of music, to music that's not English so that I can't sing along.
That's not embarrassing though.
No. My embarrassing. I
you think Portishead is embarrassing?
A little bit, because people come in here expecting me to listen to like Hatebreed or something because I came out of the Marine Corps.
I suppose it's not very masculine.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. To me, it's not embarrassing. But
no, because it's cool. Okay.
So if I invited over a girl that has wit and elegance about her, she wouldn't think anything of it, and she would probably be like, wow, I really appreciate the music and the fine meal. Those are not the type of women that I've historically invited over there, Kelly. They've always been like, what is this? Where's the Leonard Skinner? And I'm like, yeah,
and
sorry.
That's where you show them the door.
Yeah. No, usually it's about an hour or two.
I try hard, but I cannot like get past my initial judgment of someone when they say like one of their favorite bands is AC/DC.
It's a long way to the top.
Well, okay.
if
Oh,
you
well,
want
let me add a little preface to
It
that.
is a long
AC/DC,
way to the
though,
top
but
if
it's
you
not
want to
one of
rock and
my
roll.
faves. But every AC/DC song is the exact same.
It's all 3 chords with the same 4/4 drum beat.
And the big thumping drum.
The only thing that
foot pedal.
changes, the
Yeah.
only thing that changes with an AC/DC drum beat is where the crash is. And now, I will say I like Bon Scott.
Yeah. Same.
Those first couple albums, High Voltage is great and stuff. Now they're overplayed. Highway to Hell's a great album, a little overplayed, right? Because like the radio stations around here, if it's not classic rock and sucks, then it's not every fucking channel in our existence.
Yeah.
And so I'm so sick. They play like at least 3 AC/DC songs an hour.
Why is that though?
But I hated this stuff after Bon Scott. And I know like
Yeah.
Back in Black is one of their biggest albums. Maybe it's just I've heard it so much. It makes and it's so generic and bleh.
When I was a kid, my first 2 records in my tree house that I had, because I had a legitimate tree fort that my dad built for me. It had a drawbridge and everything. Best dad ever. Super cool dude. So he built me this giant tree fort, and in it, he ran electricity to it. So I had a record player down there.
Cool.
Well, it wasn't cool at the time because we were just poor, so we couldn't afford cassette tapes because, But now it would be like,
Now
oh,
it'd be
man,
cool.
that's nostalgic. Yeah, well, back in the day, it was because I didn't have any
And I was
money.
like, damn, it's a
Yeah.
record player.
Yeah, exactly. But my first 2 records was Back in Black and an Aerosmith record.
Yeah, Aerosmith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still like Aerosmith. But,
Well,
Yeah.
all right. So my music that I like is
we'll call it your music kink. We'll
My
call it
music
Oliver.
kink?
your
music
guilty
kink.
your guilty pleasure.
Yeah, the one that we're a little embarrassed of.
well, all right. Well, y'all started with things you weren't so embarrassed with. So Claude Debussy is my go-to when I have to get anything done.
Not familiar.
It's classical.
Classical. If I need to get some work done, I put that on. I played it like there's like an hour-long thing on YouTube.
Is
I
it like
played it over and
symphony
over.
music, or is there singing, or what
No.
classical are you talking
It's
about?
classical. Most of Debussy I know is guitar, classical guitar.
It's piano.
Oh, that's funny. I guess I only listen to the classical guitar
Guitar
arrangements.
version. Yeah, it's piano.
Okay.
So don't ask me like specifics
Is it
about
like-
it.
No, I'm just wondering. Is it like uppity? Like,
I think it's like 18th century.
so is it ding, ding, ding,
Eight-
like
the
fast, or is it like slow?
1863
Like,
comes to my mind for some
is it
reason.
like Moonlight Sonata, like kind of sleepy, sad piano,
We
or
can't
is
play
it intense?
It's both.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's very
Claire de Lune, I think that's
Yeah.
real sweet. And then there's some intense ones that I don't know the names
Claire de
of
Lune
those.
is the most famous.
Yeah, that's the most famous. And
What?
yeah, there's some more intense. It's not intense like Beethoven,
I'll
but
send
it's
you-
intense.
I'll send you Portishead, and you have to send me. Well,
Claude Debussy. I will
Claude
do it.
Debussy. All right.
So and then like my music.
But of course, yeah, that's not a guilty pleasure.
Oh, you want to go for like the
We
the
want
juggalo.
that shit that you're a little embarrassed to talk about.
Okay, so
I'm
we're
I'm
talking
going to
to
go full blown.
Oh God!
a,
Please tell me it's Barry White.
no, it's actually Eminem. The first album with Kim where he was killing her.
Yeah. Wait. Isn't Kim his
I
second
can
album?
listen.
Is
No,
that
Kim's first album.
Real Slim Shady? Like, which one was that track
I
on?
thought
Wasn't
Kim
that the
was
first
on
album?
on Marshall Mathers.
What was the name of the
I
first
have
album?
both of
Boom.
them.
My name is.
Yeah.
My name is
The Real Slim
My
Shady.
name is Chicken Slim Shady.
Hi, kids. Yeah. Ain't that the first album?
Yeah, that's the first album.
Yeah. I thought that was called The Real Slim Shady. That's the
But
name
she's
of the
talking
song.
about the song Kim.
The Marshall Mathers
that's the
LP.
second album.
You are right.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So
I grew
but
up in a
there's
rough
another
area, man.
one.
I know my rap.
And there's another one though on the first one was way, totally disrespectful to women. And
The
I loved it though.
The difference between a lot of rap, especially like that, and like death metal is literally just the music because the lyrics are almost identical.
Well, I loved it because I connect with his rage. And also I'm smart enough to know that he's not really gonna kill Kim. He just feels she fucked with his emotions.
He's a little out there though.
And he was upset about it, so he wrote a song. That's what happened with Kim and Dr. Dre's The Chronic. That would be
That's awesome.
two of what you wouldn't expect me to like at all. Because I don't listen to rap at all, other than
watching Nana like drive down the town in their Prius, like the whole all the fiberglass on the Prius like vibrating to like gangster rap.
Yeah, true story.
No, I can appreciate that. Actually, I listen to Eminem way more than a sane person should.
I actually like Eminem, inappropriate Eminem, more than I like appropriate Eminem.
You like his serious.
No, I like inappropriate Eminem.
You like the silly,
the silly songs,
or the rageful songs.
The one where he's just letting it all out.
And I hate
that Skeletons in the Closet song. Or whatever was pretty.
I love like now he's pretty
around the outside.
He's pretty stable guy, right? You know, so I mean he's pretty stable mentally. I haven't heard his new.
He's a genius,
music, but back in the day he was totally off the rails unstable.
Yeah, he's been through rehab a whole bunch of times.
So those first two albums connect with that place.
We have a different definition of stable.
Well, it connects with that place in me that is like, you know, that adolescent that's still like, I hate everybody and fuck you. And
I've got to say,
get out of my room.
Yeah.
when I was growing up, I grew up in a super rural town. There was we had one black kid in the entire school. Mm-hmm. And everybody, all the white kids wanted to be black. 100%. Straight down the line, all of them. And one of the things that would go on at my house, I never dug it in the way that they did. Like, I liked a different type of music and a different type of culture, but at the same time, I wanted to fit in, and I didn't want to be weird in front of my friends. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I went along with whatever you guys are doing, that's what we'll do. And they would listen to, and I'd bring it up on my...
There's some merit to conformity. It's a survival mechanism, right?
Yeah, I had to. I can't remember what it was. It must have been the original Xbox, I think, that I owned at the time when I was probably 15, 16. And I would bring up, we had saved on it on the hard drive a shit ton of just beats. And people would sit there and write lyrics to beats, and everybody wanted to be a rapper. It was just what was popular at the time. And one of the beats were from an Eminem song that nobody knew except me. And I knew it because it was one of the ones on his album that wasn't a real popular song. Mm-hmm. So I knew this, and I just had a feeling that no one else knew it. So when the beat kicked off, I rapped the entire song from beginning to end, because like I said, I played a little more than I probably should have. But I rapped the entire song from beginning to end, and all of them were just sitting there jaw dropped. And they were like, what the fuck, bro? They were like, all right, new God in the arena. What just happened here? So yeah, it was hilarious.
Be real.
Exactly.
Well, Biggie, that's your name, man. Go on it.
No, I nailed the fuck out of it though, because I had listened to the song so many times that I hit every syllable perfect. I mean, I changed the tone. Like, I just rapped the song exactly like he did, and it blew everybody away. And then one of my friends, like a week later, heard the song, and he called me out on it in front of everybody. It was pretty funny because we all just laughed about it. But yeah, that's my
Biggie's rap glory.
It was great. Yeah, it was good to be the king for like a week, because they went back and told all the cool kids in school. Cool. All of those kids are like drug addicts and fuck ups in life now. But at the time, they were the cool kids. They peaked in high school, and they went back. They went back and told all those
4
kids.
4 touchdowns in one game.
This guy's
Al Bundy's so great.
I love Al Bundy.
I had a crush on Al Bundy.
Oh my god.
That is so crazy that you would say
Because
that.
he was Al Bundy, but the guy that played him.
The guy that like walked in the door and just goes. That's the guy you were attracted to.
Put his hand in his
making
pants.
sense now. It's all making sense now.
Let me just put my hand in my pants and play with my balls while I'm sitting here watching football.
No, he never would cheat on Peg. He never cheated on her.
Yeah, he had plenty of opportunities actually throughout the
did.
11 years the show was on, and he always,
Yeah.
as much as he blamed his family for all of his misery.
Yeah.
He was faithful to his family.
Yeah.
Everything he sacrificed was for them.
Did Peg
Those
ever do shady
characters
shit on him?
are very attractive to me. That type of character in a person.
Oh, I loved Married
Self-deprecating.
with Children.
I don't know, whatever you call it, or somebody you wouldn't necessarily think would do the right thing, but that they do. You know.
That's a pretty cool character. That's so funny and
I
crazy.
guess that is
Well, he's a
self-deprecating.
very well-rounded character because there's a lot of depth to him. Because he's
Yeah.
not just a beer drinking, shoe selling, misogynist. Like there's a lot of levels to him that
Yeah.
make him a very unique character.
I think
Yeah.
that's why it's one of the reasons that the show did so well, was because subconsciously people that were watching it were identifying with him. It wasn't just the fart jokes and the funniness.
I
it
fantasize about being the dad that walks my daughter's boyfriends into the side of the wall.
I
when I'm
know,
showing
and
them.
I love that. And maybe that was it too, because I didn't grow up with a dad. So watching him be so protective over Kelly, who was a total idiot, regardless, and no matter what she did to him, he still did that. He
and
still
that
loved
stuck
her.
with that actress forever. If you watch her in anything after that,
Yeah.
she just plays as the goofy fucking.
Poor Christina Applegate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first crush as a child. Was
Oh, she
Christina
is- yeah,
Applegate.
she
I was
is.
several years younger than her when Married
You
with
went,
Children was
you
out,
went
but
like
whew,
90% of the men
Everybody.
in the country.
Yeah.
And she always had that like hot, like getting out of a Motley Crue concert kind of vibe,
yeah.
especially in
sure.
the beginning.
And I liked early Christina Applegate. Like as she got older, I didn't like. I wasn't
Well, they
attracted
changed
to her
her
anymore.
style. I liked the like tight skirts and the leather jacket.
Yeah, like you're referring to, like a White Snake concert.
Yeah, like White Snake
That's where I just came
concert.
from.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
like that.
you're referring to where they like went from the 80s to the 90s, and then the hair bands went out of style, kind of.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s you had her dressing kind of like a hippie, which wasn't
she-
really her,
She
Bell
changed
bottoms and
her.
whatnot.
because she was so over the top
She
with the
changed
hair
her
band
vibe.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
And then you had the
That's-
thin eyebrows.
That's so funny though that you had a crush on Al, but
Yeah.
not the son. What was his name?
Bud.
Bud. Yeah.
Bud.
I had a crush on Al for all those reasons. I think that I do like characters that
Do you think you crushed on him in a romantic way, or is in like, I wish Al was my dad type way?
Yeah, how Freudian.
I don't know.
How Freudian.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I can't answer that. But
Were you attracted
was
to him because he
like
was a
he's
father
more
figure?
he's more than what meets the eye, because you look at him on the surface and he's this jerk,
Yeah.
but there's something else there.
I liked Applegate because she was sexy. There's
Well,
nothing beyond
one
that.
thing about
And she was kind of a hoe bag too.
Yes, she's so
And I've
Right.
always been attracted to hoe bags.
let
It's true.
me add a little layer of depth to her too. She has moments where she's really brilliant. Like she's not just a complete airhead. There's a lot of it you can tell she's almost just choosing to,
Yeah.
because she's using that to get what she wants.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
And because there are plenty of moments in that show where she pulls out some pretty crafty ideas.
Hey, how about we talk about how Peg's still hot at what, 63?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's
She can sing too.
Yeah,
she
she's
used
a-
to sing with Bette Midler.
a country
Little known
singer,
fact.
right?
No shit.
Katie Seagal.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with her a little more.
Yeah,
Like
she-
it's funny because as a kid, I was in love with Christina Applegate as a man.
Well, they kept giving her those ridiculous red wigs, and like they'd go to like
The big hair.
and
the
they'd
80s.
find her the most tacky like 1960s outfits they could
Yeah.
from like flea markets and stuff.
They tried to make her kind of ugly or not
They
ugly.
couldn't make her
but
ugly because she was smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they tried to make her
Hot
like so
pants.
trashy.
Yeah.
The
But
hot
in
pants
real
and the
life,
belt,
the funny
came
thing
up
is,
to
you could watch Married with Children and look at her and be like, she's not like, she's got a pretty face, but as a person, she's not real attractive to me. But then you watch her in like Sons of Anarchy and you're like, oh my
beautiful,
God, that is
yeah.
a grandma that I would like to take home
Yeah.
for sure.
And when she
Yeah.
was on 8 Rules or 8 Simple Rules, like she was really just beautiful woman.
And she's kind of like an intense person too, which you don't see that in Married with Children. You just
Oh,
see
you definitely
this.
saw it in Sons though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, and I've never seen that show.
yeah,
So
she's a good actress.
So
in
you're
general.
guilty pleasure is gangster rap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go
Gangster rap.
Nana.
Yeah, I mean the shooting up people and shit.
The 50 cents, my little friend. Yes.
Which I would never ever be a proponent of.
Nana, I got a set of 12s I'll sell you for bottom dollar. Just saying.
But I can channel my rage and Marilyn Manson too. I'll get down with some Marilyn Manson and some Rob Zombie.
So I know
For sure.
I
What
know
about corn?
Corn, yes.
Yeah, corn's good too.
Long as I can understand what they're saying.
Freak on a leash.
I gotta have the lyrics, cause it. All right, go ahead, and make your point. I see your face. You're like hanging on.
I'm a little buzzed at the moment. So
You didn't have anything.
you take
Oh, that does do it.
Yeah, no.
It is a, neuropsychotropic?
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't remember what I was going to say.
I don't think you were gonna
No, I wasn't going to joke on you not or being able to like
The lyrics.
listen to it. That's no. Oh no. I was going to ask what I know a little bit about Marilyn Manson, and I think he's absolutely asinine, and I think he is just a clown shoe. But I used to listen back when I was in high school. Some of his earlier albums.
Yeah, that's what.
Before he started like doing prosthetic boobs and
Oh, okay.
being like, was that Dope Show, that
Yeah, the
period
Dope
after
Show.
Mechanical Animals, I believe. And I loathed that. And some of it's, I'm not a really big fan of industrial. I mean, I love Nine Inch Nails, but most
Nine-
industrial
they're good.
I'm not really into. But you know, even Trent Reznor, once he stopped shooting heroin and hating himself, like the sound,
Boring.
it got boring. And even he said that basically. The reason he stopped doing the band mostly is because he's like, I'm not in that place in my life.
I don't know why. I wouldn't have pictured you as a 9 Inch fan. That's
Oh, I would.
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
only because I've
Well,
heard
that's
his
cool.
music before.
Oh, I appreciate that. I
And-
love 9 Inch Nails.
The so what Marilyn Manson is it? I guess what you're saying is you like the older stuff too,
I do. Yeah, but you
because you know
have
he's
to
still
think,
doing albums.
Wait,
And
you would
he's-
consider Marilyn Manson older stuff?
and he's
Or
He's
you're
been
referring
around
to
for
his
like
early
25 years.
Yeah, he's been around since like the 90s. Well, the Beautiful People
guess.
is
I
the
just
shit,
forget.
right?
I had
The Beautiful
Mary
People.
Dude.
It's all relative to the size of your steeple.
No.
Very, very good.
no. I actually have some old stuff with him, Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. That was like I want to say like 92, 93.
If you
Was there any
like
top
take
sellers
away
from that
all
already?
of that stuff,
No, that was all like
he's got a really good band, or at least he had a really
he
good band.
can't keep any musician for an album because he's such a narcissist.
I haven't listened to him in
I could
like
definitely see
newer
that.
music.
Based
but-
on
His,
his
everything I've heard from him in the last 20 years has just made my skin crawl.
yeah, but when I see him on a talk show or anything, naturally he talks normally, like because he's a person and he
Kinda.
doesn't have. But right,
It's a little
his
fake. He's got to have that persona.
right his imagery's weird, but I'm saying his voice and everything is just that of a
know.
well, you know
person.
how I perceive
sounds like
the
he
way
likes to
he
smell his
looks.
fart.
So
He
is
sounds sad.
when he needs all that
He thinks
shit.
he's so, like,
I'm like,
sense of
oh, he
grandiosity."
needs this. You know, that's the way I
He
see
needs
it.
this.
He needs
He's
this.
so pitiful. He needs
That's so
rescue.
Nana of
Just-
you.
just
He needs
look.
rescuing.
Just look over the weird eye
There's a
and the
good
makeup.
boy in there somewhere.
He needs this.
Poor little
He's a
Brian.
Some people
grown
need
man.
Poor little Brian Warner. He just needs a hug.
No, but when I hear him though, like he says though that his music is explicit for a reason. Like
Yeah.
he just capitalizes on that.
Yeah, no, it
Like he
he's-
has no shame in being like, that's not really
He
me.
took-
Like I'm a normal guy.
Well,
I
back
just
in
make
the
a lot of
day,
money."
he
he
took like
used to
Alice
be
Cooper
good.
and he made it ickier.
Yes, Alice Cooper.
He had,
That is
he
a
had to
good
keep,
early.
The problem is if you keep pushing the boundaries because he's shock rock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And so
absolutely. 100%.
if you keep pushing the boundaries, eventually you're just going to plateau out.
It loses steam. Yeah.
And that's what happened. I remember the prosthetic tits. That was pretty much really the end of his big career. He kind of fizzled from there. And you just
He
kind
did
of...
2 remakes that were very good.
My favorite album from him, and the only one, by the way, I do not think any of his albums have held the test of time for me. And
Really?
yeah, no, I actually can't even listen to most of his albums anymore. The only one I can listen to is Portrait of an American Family.
Okay.
Do you not know what that one is?
I'm not
What's
a
some of the songs
huge
off of
Marilyn Manson fan.
Get Your Gun. Oh, gosh.
Was this the suicidal album that everybody complained about and whined and said it caused people to kill themselves and my children?
This was their
Was
first...
this the one that Eminem was like, they blame it on Marilyn and the heroin?
Nah, I think that was like Smells Like
Blame
Children.
it on
Smells like
Marilyn.
children? Yeah.
This is
probably.
their first real major label. And check it out.
Okay, I will.
What I love about... The only reason it holds a test of time for me is it's not... It probably is a little gimmicky, but it's not like, oh my God, look at me,
Yeah.
you know? And
We're talking, when I say I'm a fan of Marilyn Manson, I mean, we're talking about very superficially the hit songs.
like what's on the radio.
Oh, sure.
or what's on Pandora. Like I will go to my Marilyn Manson channel. I don't listen to like his B-sides and shit.
Yeah,
you
me and
know?
you were in the same boat as far as Marilyn goes. But Nine Inch Nails, I actually enjoyed Nine Inch Nails' non-popular songs as well as their popular songs. Like
Pretty Hate Machine's one of my favorite albums.
specifically, every song-wise, Every Day is exactly the same. Like that's one of my favorite songs by Nine Inch Nails because I feel very Groundhog Bill Murray lifestyle. So every day is exactly the same. Like that Nine Inch Nails song really resonates hard, and I listen to that shit all the time. I'll listen to that song on repeat.
I guess we're at my guilty pleasure. I feel like I'm the only one. Even though I don't know. I feel like saying gangster rap is a shock in a way, but not silly. I guess it's a little. It's a
You
little
can
out
be
of
whatever
character.
you want to be.
It's a little out of character for you. But I mean, it's not like I thought you like go into your Prius and turn on Faith Hill. Like, so
No.
yeah,
I was really hoping you'd say T Swift. I'm not gonna lie.
T Swift. I
Taylor Swift.
can't handle that.
Too much.
I love, and of course, this is not my guilty pleasure because we were talking about folk. You know, I love folk, but so I love classic country.
Okay, like Patsy Cline.
Yes.
I love Patsy Cline.
I fucking
Okay.
hate country from about
Yeah.
Garth Brooks on.
Yeah.
But
Garth
Same.
Brooks. Actually, Garth Brooks is really the dividing line, is it not?
yeah,
Because
that's
half of Garth Brooks is like, that sounds like original country, and then the other half you're like, that's poppy shit.
Yeah.
That a beta would
no.
jerk off to.
I all day. Shit, for Christmas, my wife got me 2 records. One was Loretta Lynn, and the other one was Folsom Prison.
Yes.
The Johnny Cash.
I love
yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
Cash.
Yeah,
Yes.
Cash is good.
Any
Yes.
like 50s, 60s, and some 70s country, man. I live for that shit.
I shot a man
That's
in
not a
Reno just to watch him die. I mean, what kind of shit is that?
Oh, especially for that time period.
How much
that
more
was so
gangster
lawless.
can you
when
get?
everybody was doing like gospel music and he comes out talking about killing a man.
Yep.
That was
Just
Elvis,
to watch him die.
And
like-
that's not my guilty pleasure. I will brag about that all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Yeah,
That's,
I expected like some Waylon Jennings from you.
I don't
Like,
really like Waylon Jennings.
I don't either, but that's what I thought you were heading after. But I like the raunchier.
I mean, I
like
will
you were
listen to
saying-
Waylon Jennings before any modern country.
for sure. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm
Like
not
what
gonna
what
do
the
Florida
fuck's a
Georgia line.
Brad Paisley? Like I can't even tell you.
I don't know. I
No,
want to
but-
check you for ticks. Come see
I
my
want to
tractor.
check you for ticks.
That's so
It's
Let's get it
poignant
on
and
my
meaningful,
tractor.
right?
it's
I'm sorry.
so.
I hate it. I don't like country.
It's so.
I don't like
I am
modern.
a city boy, but I'm capitalizing off real country people.
Yeah, my
That's
jeans
what
are
irritates me.
$100.
Yeah.
but I'm gonna dirty them
Yeah,
up to
well,
look like yours.
because-
Yeah, I'm gonna play in the field with a plow.
Yeah.
Because-
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
yeah.
Because old country, you know,
It's written by actual country people.
people who actually like picked cotton
Yes.
and had hideous, hard lives, and it was just genuine. And that's what it's kind of like with gangster rap. That's why most rap now is shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
And it's been
mumble,
shit for a very long time because people
Mumble
just
rap.
mumble rap.
people
Yep.
just do it.
and then they repeat the same word over and over and
People
think that's
just
great.
people just do it to make money, and they've since the mid '90s, like
Yeah.
Puff Daddy and Mace, it's crap. But
Yeah.
those early rappers that were actually living really rough lives, like NWA and stuff, you know, there's
Yeah.
something genuine about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
and that's
authentic.
what starts a movement, like with Kurt Cobain and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
the grunge, the real Seattle,
That's my shit.
the real Seattle sound was rooted in something meaningful. And when all those idiot
Was that
corporate
Seattle? Is that where
Yeah.
all that came from?
and
Your
all
grunge?
and all those
Shit.
with all those like idiot corporate fat cats, you know, get their little grimy hands on it. They
Yeah.
corrupt what was authentic and real about a genre of music, and it just ruins it. And that's what that old. I'm going to stand up there and sing in a tin can with an acoustic guitar about picking cotton and hating my life and drinking beer to just make the pain go away. There's something just so genuine and real about that,
Yep.
and you can feel it, and it's so great and authentic. And
And that's something that you can like people can connect to regardless of the type of music. You know, if you could connect to the authenticity of it, and you know it's coming from a real place, that really like lights your fire. You know, when you listen to music. Why are you grinning?
because I'm just thinking about what my guilty pleasure is.
Oh,
I
I
Wait,
was saying something
I
stupid.
always-
I thought we got there.
no,
thought-
no.
Guilty pleasure.
No, old country's not my guilty
You
pleasure.
have to
What,
tell
what
the
was old
truth,
country
too.
then?
Huh?
Just something you enjoy?
That's just something I love.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about folk. I love folk music.
Okay,
Doesn't matter
I'm
what
sorry.
culture.
Okay.
You guys always mock me about wiggling out of these, right? So I'm gonna let you guys guess my guilty pleasure.
It's not T Swift. We know that.
Yeah, no.
Britney Spears.
Children of Bodom did a cover of "Baby One More Time." That's great.
What?
So good. No. Oops, I Did It Again. Sorry, they did a cover of Oops, I Did It Again, and it's so good. Which shows you that it's not necessarily the way it's done, or it's the way it's done that makes it good. And because ironically, the Children of Bodom one had more soul to it. It's a heavy metal band.
So I guess Britney Spears was not your.
No.
That's the one I thought.
We're
about.
definitely going to come back to this, and I definitely want to guess at yours. I don't have a good guess, but I'm going to come up with one after Nana does, because I'm going
Oh,
to pass
I
the
don't
buck
think
to
you
her.
guys will ever guess. I think it's gonna be.
I guarantee you I won't. But I do want to ask, though, because I just learned something historically. You're saying that grunge, you're referring to Soundgarden, Nirvana, Alice in Chains, etc. They all came from Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
No shit. I didn't know that.
That's at
literally...
age. That's where
that-
my age is good.
That's my favorite genre of music by far. Those three bands
I've been to those.
specifically.
I've been to those little dinky clubs in Seattle, Washington.
I've never been to what. Actually, I've never been West Coast except.
I was
the
so
Mojave
upset
Desert.
last time we were in Seattle. The Melvins were playing at this little dive bar in Seattle downtown, and
Why did you go to Seattle?
we love Seattle. Not
Really?
not right now, but
Not
Yeah.
current Seattle.
not current Seattle.
No,
but
but it doesn't surprise me though, because grunge
There's-
is very sad in its soul, and
have
it
you
does
been?
rains a
rain.
lot.
Have you been
It
to
rains
Washington State?
continual. Right. That's what I've heard, is that Seattle is the saddest city. So it doesn't
Well,
surprise
and-
me that it comes from there. But
And people
I just learned
don't.
that.
People don't understand because Seattle's a very affluent area. These bands aren't really from Seattle; they're from Washington State, and they went to Seattle to play shows and make it.
Yeah, that's right.
And there is so much poverty in Washington State. You know, it is a poor lumberjack. You know, a lot of Native American populations on reservations. It is dirt poor,
Really.
and it rains all the time.
I don't know
Pearl
shit about
Jam.
Washington.
You know,
so
come
it's
on, what do you
all
think the
new to me.
flannel comes from?
Yeah.
You know, and
Black. Is there more pain in a song than black? None.
What is black?
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
Oh, okay.
And Eddie Vedder is Californian, by the way, but the guys in Pearl Jam that come from Green River
Oh, okay.
were from Seattle. And they actually, Eddie Vedder is from California, which totally makes sense. Eddie Vedder's obnoxious.
Back in the day, he was not, though. We gotta give him respect for Pearl Jam.
Even flow.
I feel like Dave Matthews Band kind of falls in a Pearl Jam aftermath.
What?
They are
And,
from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Well, I met the father.
Actually, he's from
Dave
South Africa,
South
right?
Africa, yes.
Dave
he is.
Matthews Band's drummer. I met his father and sat in a sauna with the guy for like 2 hours.
Cool.
Just sitting there roasting.
Dave Matthews
all
is
about
one of
that.
my favorite bands.
I like Dave Matthews.
Do you?
yeah.
I can't handle them.
I love
No,
it.
Now, they're very proficient musically.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, they're drummers. They have
Oh,
really
they're
cool time
Have you ever
signatures.
seen them live? It's
No.
like you are experiencing perfection.
Yeah, no,
Musically.
they're very calculated
Musically.
in their they're very talented. I just don't like them.
Well, a lot of their music though has like, I don't even want to say it because I know
Oh,
you
just
guys are
say
gonna be
it,
like, "What are you
Biggie."
talking about?" But it feels a little fishy to me.
What do you
like
mean?
What do you mean
fish.
by fishy?
What do you mean?
Like PHISH.
Oh, fish.
It feels
like
fishy.
derivative Grateful Dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
like
they're
the
certainly
bear.
a jam band.
Yeah,
They
I know.
attract that audience.
But they have a handful of songs, of course, the ones that are played on the radio, where I can actually get down and enjoy the music. But
Yeah.
a lot of it's a little too. How would you describe that?
Politically charged,
No.
like fish.
Is fish politically charged?
I thought they were a little bit. Maybe not.
I thought they were just like smoke some dope and hit the wah pedal.
That's what I thought.
All right. Well, never mind.
But a lot of Dave
Got
Matthews
my
Band
bands
music
wrong.
reminds me.
Well, they
of
could be
that
political, and I
sometimes,
never
though.
listened to the lyrics.
Well, I mean, smoking dope and sitting around and not doing anything is kind of political.
Don't drink the water is very political.
There's that.
Is it?
Yeah.
I only like that song at the end when he gets all angry. Don't drink the water. and it turns out that the reason
Face.
and the reason
This
he
is why we need to have a video cast of some.
Oh, I love it. 'Cause
the reason
it's
he was
very
so
deep
angry.
and dark.
Yeah, but the reason he was so angry at the end was actually because they kept fucking up the takes. And he was getting tired of doing that.
Serious?
Yes, and he was getting tired of doing that recording, and he was just getting more and more angry. That he keep-
pissed.
and so it's actually real. That which is why it's
Yeah.
good, because he's actually angry because he kept screwing up, I guess.
Well, I think a lot of people don't know, you know, a lot of their fluffy or their love songs are the ones that got famous, but the majority of their music is very intense.
I've never
and
really
dark.
heard them outside of. Do what now? How do I hate Rage Against the Machine?
Yeah.
Speaking of political, right?
I mean, the thing is, now, I get your hate for Rage. And the reason that I say that is
I
because
bet you can guess why I hate Rage.
Rage whines all the time about the political right, but never says shit about the political left.
That's actually not why I hate them.
They want to bring down the government, period, as long as they install whoever is currently in charge of the left. Like, they just hate the right. And that's what irritates me about them, is because I'm like, if you're going to hate the government, can you hate both sides? Can we just agree to hate the government in general?
Okay, that's a little bit why I hate Rage.
Okay.
The reason I hate Rage Against the Machine is because they're like rap metal,
Something
rap
weird.
rock. All right?
Yeah, they got their own shit.
I could not. I remember I bought Evil Empire when I was in high school, and there's like Bulls on Parade and stuff, right? People of the Sun, and I got rid of it, and even as a teenager, I didn't respect them because all they talked about was communism. Yet they were making all their money on a little capitalism.
That's right.
And they weren't giving any of their money away, were they?
Right.
They were just sitting in their big houses, like Tom Morello, just being rich and whining about capitalism. Fuck you. You know, he's making all of his money on it. Now,
Yeah.
if he was living truth, right, I wouldn't have felt that way. You know, if he was living in Bolivia and, you know, sharing a couch, yeah, you know, more power to you, man. You practice what you preach. But I didn't respect people who were talking about communism all day and then making it rich on capitalism.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like them.
Hypocrisy.
Musically, yeah, I mean, they're all right. Yeah, I mean, musically, they're all right.
I just like their anger towards the state, and I hate that it's towards capitalism. Like, can you imagine if the same group did that rage towards communism? Wouldn't that be super? I'm just saying. I like their music.
I'm sure there's
Not necessarily what
I'm
they
sure
stand
there's
for.
libertarian. I know there's libertarian bands. Punk rock used to be libertarian.
Very. Yeah. That's why I
70s
appreciate
punk rock.
the
Of course, punk rock now is just a product of the man.
Pretty much.
100%. That's like anything that's mainstream at one point does become, or anything that's punk rock
Kurt
does become
Cobain
mainstream.
basically said grunge was dead when they started having fashion models come out in flannel.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then for the Unplugged, he wore his grandmother's sweater.
My little
So it's
sister.
like,
It's such a
she's
great
into
album,
these
and he did not
crazy-
want
It
to
is.
do it at all.
Oh, you can tell too when he's on stage.
He told
how dispassionate he was.
he told MTV that he would not do that Unplugged album unless he could just do covers. They wanted him to do all of his songs unplugged, like all the other bands before him, and he did not want to do it. Last thing he wanted to do was "Smells Like Teen Spirit" unplugged.
Unplugged, right.
So he just did a lot of covers, like David Bowie, "Man Who Sold the World" was great.
But he nailed.
Lead Belly.
Oh my God, he nailed. We're getting there. So no,
Well,
he-
nah, you still see. I'm gonna reel it in. Because you guys are going to let me slide through the cracks again, aren't you?
no. We're staying on top of you. But like, where did you sleep last night when he did that on the Unplugged album?
I do like to be on the bottom.
Well, we know where you slept. You went to belly sleeper, you. No. When he did "Where Did You Sleep Last Night," I had to look it up to see where that song came from because I knew it was a redo. It was obvious. But then it was a redo of a redo of a redo. And I kept going further and further back, and eventually it got to where this song is an American folk song, and no one knows who the author of it was.
A lot of those old songs are that way.
I was like, no shit. Nobody knows.
yeah, yeah.
I thought that was wild. I'd never heard of that.
It's real American folk. Mm-hmm. And
But
that,
man, he did it powerfully.
And that
He did it
song-
very
I don't even
soulfully.
know what you're talking about.
It's an
where
old
you
blues
never
song.
heard the Nirvana song "Where Did You Sleep Last Night"?
Did you sleep last
It's about like
night?
I may have
it's
heard
about
it a long
killing
time
it.
ago.
It's about killing his
Kill
wife
his
or
girlfriend.
girlfriend that cheated on him.
Yeah, cut her head off. Or no, she cut his head off. They found his head in an old machine. Like,
It may have been years ago.
I don't
But
yeah, no, I'm fuzzy on it too, but I think it was about her killing her husband or something like that, because they found his head in like a combine harvester's, whatever the fuck they were using back then to do the same thing.
I thought they were talking about the guy that was sleeping with his wife.
They may have been, but I'm saying that she cut whoever's head off to make the song, because he's talking about she cut his head
Now,
off.
is
They
that the way
found
the
his
Lead
head.
Belly version went, or did Kurt change that around?
I don't know. I don't know if...
'Cause Kurt-
Well, I have heard the Lead Belly version, but I don't remember it because I listened to the Nirvana song about 1,000 times and the Lead Belly song like twice. Which is funny, because that brings me to my next point, which I wanted to throw out real quick, was that, and you may be able to appreciate this, and I know I told you a minute ago when you asked what my favorite music was. I like blues. Blues is my favorite music, period. But I do not like anything from B.B. King on. I do not like a choir
No, it's gotta
of
be-
17 people and 42 instruments and 3...
No. It's got to be like Delta River Blues.
I want Lead Belly. I want Howlin' Wolf. I want Buck of White. That's my blues.
What-
I want one old black man on a porch with a
Mississippi-
bottle of moonshine,
Yeah.
and he is blind as hell plucking
Yeah,
with a
Mississippi
cymbal
John
on.
Hurt.
are you talking
Yes.
like 40s and 50s?
No.
Or when did B.B. King
Anywhere
come
like
along?
Skip James, anything,
Yes.
Hard Time Killing.
Yep,
You
Hard
know,
Time Killing.
something that again, it's that genuine, like, life is fucking hard. And
I want to
Feel
hear...
the-
40s
feel
or 60s?
20s to, I'd say 20s to 50s.
I would
Yeah.
say you're right. Yeah, 20s to
Yeah.
50s. I think
Delta
is
River
appropriate.
Blues.
When
like
when
Blind
they
Willie.
sing, I want them. I want to hear I want it to be so soulful that I actually feel bad for them because there's a good chance that they really were involved with slavery or the product of direct slavery. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that is...
A lot of them were living... That was Depression and Jim Crow laws and stuff.
Exactly, and that's what I'm getting at.
They were feeling real systemic racism.
100% real systemic racism. And legitimately, their father really was probably in some fields because that is the soulful music. The B.B. King shit, that and beyond, was choirs and capitalism.
That's more about like love. My baby done left me.
Yeah, oh, she done cheated on me. Oh, she cheated on me. Yeah, no, the original blues though was like
cheated on me.
Yeah, the original blues though is I've got a terrible drinking problem and a man has held me down, and there was a little bit of my girl cheated on me.
Yeah. That's always there, either in blues or country.
And it is funny how that's
unless you're Robert Johnson,
a lot of music.
And he was sleeping with everyone's wife, and that's what got him killed. He's the one who sold his soul to play music at the crossroads to the devil.
Oh, no shit.
Okay.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't know his name, though.
If you ever saw the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yes.
The character Tommy is based
Yeah.
on Robert Johnson.
And did Tommy not kill Hard Time Killing Full of Blues, though?
Which is Skip James. Skip James is one of my favorite.
Oh, Skip
Delta
James
River
is
blues.
great. But Tommy, the real actor in the movie, was the one that did the rendition of
he
Hard
played
Time
that
Killing Full of
song
Blues.
in the movie.
And he did amazing.
Beautiful.
Like, yeah.
My favorite
Amazing.
Skip James song is Crow Jane.
I know Crow Jane.
And I've been in arguments with that because some people say that's about Jim Crow laws. I don't think so. I think it's very literal. I think it's about burying a woman who's cheating on him. And because a lot of Delta River blues is also just that.
There's not a lot of metaphors.
Yeah, there's not a lot of metaphors.
You get
This
away with
is
that
what
shit in
happened.
the country too.
That is true. Back in
then,
those days,
yeah, you could.
Like, you may have done it and put it in a song, but there's no evidence against you.
It could
Evidence don't exist.
It could be about killing Jim Crow laws, but I think it's pretty literal.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. I didn't know you enjoyed the blues. I guess I should have guessed, though. You being a musician person in general, like,
I love all music.
Yeah.
But as long as it's real. I don't
But
like
you do
stuff
see
that's
the-
marketed and fake.
Yeah.
You do see the difference, and that's kind of what I'm referring to between that blues, which I felt that they wrote for themselves, versus B.B. King and Up. B.B. King
I've
and Up
never
is-
liked B.B. King.
Yeah.
I've
There's
just never liked B.B. King.
you don't
It's
need
just-
a choir.
I don't know. This is probably blasphemy. I'm sure I get so much hate for this, but I feel like B.B. King lacks soul.
Yes.
Which
100%.
is everybody would probably argue me to death about that. I just feel like it's soulless.
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
the-
B.B. King is kind of the way you were saying AC/DC is.
Yes.
It's like a kind of a
Generic.
one-trick pony
All
type
those
of
B.B.
thing.
King songs sound the same to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in even the one that they're all based off of. Like, AC/DC songs, one sounds like all of them.
Yeah.
Like, I
There's
actually
a-
like AC/DC, but I don't like B.B. King. I don't like Eric Clapton.
And there's
Like,
some-
No, I do.
I love Eric
No, I
Clapton.
do like Eric Clapton when it's just Eric Clapton.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
I love
one.
cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
like his solo stuff. I like Cream.
Oh, no shit. Disraeli Gears?
Cream is so good, and Spoonful is a classic blues song. Crossroads, that was his cover of Robert Johnson, and I just love Cream.
Disraeli
Ginger
Gears
Baker
I actually
and-
have Disraeli Gears in my CD player in my car. Like,
Is that the band that did Can't Find My Way Home? That's one of my favorite songs. Steve Winwood was in that band, but it's not Cream.
Cream is like in the white room.
Oh, yeah,
with
that's
black
good, too.
curtains.
Well, who was
at
that?
the station.
Can't find my way home. Do do do.
I don't know.
Can't find my way home. I'm gonna Google it.
I'll Google it. Yeah, definitely
It's
a
the
big
same era though.
psychedelic.
I love psychedelic band. Doors.
1960s.
Doors.
Yes.
Oh, the Doors
Yeah.
is my favorite all-time band, hands down. Always has been.
Beatles are mine.
Really?
But
I get that.
But I
like
love
Beatles
the
too.
Doors.
Yeah.
But I like the Beatles that
What's your favorite Doors song?
I do not like the Beatles. Well, no, I don't want to say that. I prefer...
The Doors song or the Beatles?
Blind Faith.
Never heard them.
Can't find my way home. Google it.
I prefer the Beatles from Sgt. Pepper on, like when they started experimenting more into the 60s, than like just the Beatle mania, British invasion era.
Yeah. You've seen the Yellow Submarine?
I love it.
Okay, good. Have you seen the Yellow Submarine?
Did I miss the whole Doors conversation?
No, we haven't
we're
really
up,
started
kinda.
it yet.
But we're on to the Beatles with the Yellow Submarine. Have you seen the cartoon?
I'm gonna say a blasphemous thing.
Oh,
I've never been into the Beatles.
really?
No, teach their own, I guess.
And music is so subjective, even
Yeah.
though we'll have to ask you to leave.
I mean, there's a couple of songs.
But
Actually,
the Doors, though.
I like the Bee Gees better than the Beatles.
We can still be friends.
Wow, did you just say that?
Well, first of all, let me drop some knowledge, which y'all might already have some of this knowledge, so I can be humble. All right, so they have written so many more songs than what they have performed. Number one, that's why I love the Bee Gees. Two, they're not only the 70s, disco music.
Or not?
No.
I hate disco.
They got caught up in the whole I hate disco movement where it was like 1980 and that all the people took all the
Kiss.
disco records.
They go to at those Kiss concerts, they'd burn disco albums and
yeah.
stuff.
Well, they got caught up in that, but they are all completely original music makers. They've written some of the best songs in history. But you don't know it. Because
I don't.
Google it. Do your research. Watch the documentary. Well, I don't know if you have HBO, but it's on HBO.
I've
It's
seen like behind the
really
music
good.
on
It's
the.
so good.
I've seen behind the music on the Bee Gees. I just don't like that music.
Well, they didn't always sing that way. They only Barry Gibb. He found that falsetto voice in the 70s.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he
Frankie Valli been doing that. They've been doing that in the 50s and 60s all day long.
I don't think he knew he had the falsetto.
Until someone kicked him in
he-
the nuts.
Maybe, I don't know. Barry Gibb was the hottest of them, though. He was handsome.
Stay alive, stay alive.
That's an awesome song.
It is a good song.
Justin Timberlake does a great imitation. Him and Jimmy Fallon.
Isn't Jimmy Fallon the best to recreate things? Do you know when he
His
did
Reading Rainbow Doors cover.
Reading Rainbow? Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the shit he said wasn't even real. At some point in the song, he was just like,
Yeah, he
Yes.
was doing it perfect. He could nail Jim Morrison, man.
He really could. And the reaction on stage, like his physical appearance of just fucking passing out on the mic because he was too high on LSD and mescaline. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Fucking love the Doors.
Oh, God.
my
Yes.
favorite-
So let's talk about the
Doors.
Lizard King. Yes,
Let's talk
do.
about the freaking
What is your-
keyboardist.
Oh, Ray
He was
Manzarek.
my favorite.
Well, he's got the most talent. Even
he's
though
the best.
Krieger's great too, and so is Dinsmore, a great jazz drummer.
Well, I remember being little watching the Doors movie, and of course you have like
You know,
Talk about Val Kilmer?
handsome Val Kilmer.
Yeah,
And
that was Val Kilmer's heyday too.
That was-
Back then, he
yeah.
was a
That
good
was a
actor.
great one,
but
man.
I
Yeah.
like the keyboardist.
Keyboardist.
Because I like
Okay.
Al Bundy. I'm like this weird person. But I love that
Ray
music.
Manzarek was a phenomenal
Yeah.
keyboardist, and they didn't have a bass player. He was doing the bass on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. Interesting.
Just
But of course,
phenomenal.
Jim Morrison and Val Kilmer.
Well, Jim
were hot.
Morrison made the band, though. That
Yeah.
as talented as Dinsmore, Krieger, and Manzarek were, without Jim Morrison, the Doors
Yeah.
would not have been.
He
what they-
come in with that whole thing.
He was so
you
dark.
know?
Everybody.
That's what I was about to say.
Everybody in the '60s was like especially that psychedelic movement, very Jefferson Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Bright colors. Funny. So he's all black,
Yeah.
hating life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Depression, alcohol,
Miserable.
Yeah.
He was like
Freudic
goth
in every way.
He was
He was the
basically goth.
best.
The
Yeah.
end when
And
he performed.
and gorgeous
Yeah.
on top of it.
Oh,
the
God.
nerve to be fucking gorgeous.
And the women went crazy because of the darkness and the
And
fact
the hotness.
that he was
so,
sexy. Yeah,
so angry
100%. Yeah.
and attractive.
And the thing
just,
is, and even
You
some
know,
of
he
the shit,
shitted on so many
just-
women. Like, get out of
just
my man, bitch.
For sure.
visceral. Like,
and you know, when he performed the end and got kicked off, what was that old show that everybody used to go on during the
Ed Sullivan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. When they kicked him off there because he was like,
Well, that was because he's
mother. You know,
We
No,
couldn't
no.
get much higher.
That was that. Wasn't that was that like Whiskey Go Go or something?
that's what I'm talking about.
No,
Whiskey
he got
Go-Go.
kicked off Ed
Yes.
Sullivan when he said, "Let's get higher."
Let's
They
get
told-
higher,
They
yes.
told him
And
not
girl,
to.
we
Yeah.
couldn't get,
Get much higher.
But no,
They told him not
the
to
Whiskey
say
a
it.
Go Go when he said,
And he like emphasized it in front of the camera.
yeah.
Just to say "fuck you," Ed
Yeah.
Sullivan.
Horse,
And I
baby.
love that. That is exactly him.
That's what rock means, man.
Yeah, it 100% is. He is the reason. The reason that I love the Doors is because Jim Morrison was true to his character, like 100% across the board. And one of the things that made me realize that even before the Ed Sullivan Show was the Whiskey a Go Go when he was singing the end, and he said, "Mother, I would like to rape you," or something like that. That was in
Yeah.
the end
Yeah,
lyric.
that's what he. That's what. He,
Yeah,
Father,
and
I wanna
and it was
kill you,
so
Mother, I
fucked
will
up.
rape you.
Yeah, yeah, brother, I want to, mother, I want to, etc.
Yeah.
And it was just so wild because he did that even when his father had like jumped his shit because his father was,
He was
an admiral in the Navy.
in
Yeah,
World War II.
yeah. So his father had already disapproved of him, and just as I'm a rock star and an American,
He had
like he
so
just
many
let it
issues.
rip.
Like he let it.
Oh God, yeah. And the crazy thing is, out of all of the drugs that he done, he drank himself to death.
Yep.
Out of everything that he did. Now, one
Well,
of the
yeah, I mean, he
interesting
died
things when
from
you
a
watch the
heroin
Lizard King
overdose.
documentary,
Well, you can't die of psychedelics. That's what they did
He
back
died from
then.
a heroin
No,
overdose.
he
in
died
a
from
bathtub.
alcohol.
No, he died
No.
from alcohol.
yeah, he died. He drank himself to death and he died in a hotel in a bathtub in,
Paris.
France. Yep.
I thought he died of an
No,
overdose
it was
from
alcohol.
heroin in Paris.
Nope, killed himself drinking.
Alcoholic related.
I mean,
One of the things that was interesting about Jim Morrison, though, was that with drugs, and I always respected the hell out of this, with drugs, he was never a long-term drug user of any one particular substance. He was a god in this aspect. He would use a substance and take 10,000 milligrams more or 10 lines more than the normal person would take and get as high as he possibly could on that substance. And then he was like, I'm done with it.
because alcohol was his drug of choice.
Right. It
And
was.
we talked about that in an earlier podcast.
I think we did,
Everyone's got
yeah.
a puzzle piece, and certain puzzle pieces.
And I think we even brought up Jim Morrison specifically, this specific
I
case.
don't think so.
I
You
don't
might be
remember
thinking.
that
Okay.
because I would have got on my Jim Morrison.
It may have
No,
been the
you were
very
probably
first
thinking, you were maybe thinking about that.
That's possible. But he would go out into the desert, and where everybody took, say 100 or 150 micrograms of LSD, he would take like 500
Yeah.
and just trip his balls off, but then be done with the drug. Coke, same thing, et cetera, et cetera. Like he did all of these different drugs, but maximized them and then said, well, I've already been as high as I wanted to be on that drug. I've already maximized it to the point of like I wasn't going to return. So I'm all set. But the
Yeah.
one constant in his life was alcohol.
Well,
Yeah.
Alan Watts had talked to when he was talking about acid. He basically said, once you get the call and you figure it out, you hang up the phone.
Yeah. No, it's a great point.
He
And Jim
died of
Morrison did that.
alcoholism.
He did.
The crazy thing is that Jim Morrison did that with all drugs. Like
Yeah.
heroin, coke, etc. He did it. He did it for a couple months. He did it to the maximum level, figuring out where his body could attain the highest high on that drug, and then he would quit.
But not alcohol.
But not alcohol.
He just
he had
couldn't.
to
He
have
couldn't.
it.
He
Just killed
couldn't get.
himself.
He couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I've always
He
thought
must
to
have-
myself,
Oh, and his looks completely went.
Yeah, he got that distended belly and
big bushy beard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
just.
but
looked
he
like
didn't give a fuck about his looks.
Yeah.
No.
That's the thing. He didn't care.
No, he didn't. Well, he was so depressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't give a
So,
shit.
what's your
sad dude.
favorite Doors song?
Break on through to the other side.
He hated that song too.
I know.
Did he really?
It is.
His favorite songs were the blues ones, like Roadhouse Blues. He did not like in Wild Love and stuff.
Backdoor Man is.
Second
and Gloria.
is L.A.
Gloria
Woman.
was a fucked up one. You guys listen to Gloria? Gloria.
That's yeah, except for that's Van Morrison.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a Doors song.
That's Van Morrison.
I am 99% sure that is. It even had the
And I'm
keyboard.
99.9% sure that it's Van
L.A.
Morrison.
Woman is a close second.
L.A. Woman's a good
It's a
one.
very
Doors
good one.
definitely did that.
Is that the one who's like Mojo Rising?
Ah, yes. L.A. Woman.
That's a great one.
Don't you love her as she's walking out the door?
That's a different song.
Like she did 1,000 times before.
That's a different song.
It's not
Yeah,
L.A.
no.
Woman?
No, that's...
Gloria by the Doors. Told you.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
don't you love her madly?
Type in...
Wanna be her
no,
dad.
Love
I
Her
mean,
Madly. Type in
Van
Gloria
Morrison may
Morrison.
have done it at some point, but I'm saying the Doors, if nothing else, they redid it.
Maybe they did a cover of it.
Have you heard the cover? It's very good. Walk on up to your room, baby.
Yeah, it's L.A. Woman, the second one I like the best. And then...
Yeah, Gloria's a super fucked up song by the Doors. I don't know if they did it originally. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not arguing that.
99% sure
Y'all
that
keep
was
talking.
Van
I gotta take a pee break. Again.
And...
Yeah, no, but the reason that Gloria was so fucked up, no, it's obviously Jim Morrison. I've listened to it 1,000 times. Softer, softer, slow it down. I got a feeling down. All right, okay, hey, hey, getting softer, slow it down, softer, get it down. He's talking about fucking a girl that's in like high school or something. And maybe it was
All right,
a
all right,
Morrison
all right.
song. That's why I love those girls. Yeah, but that was a good song, but that was in the same realm of like the blues songs that he did. Kinda.
I don't know.
Well, it's just that the music spiked so hard in that song. So maybe, but that's wild that his favorite was the blues songs because I like the end. Like those types of songs were my favorite.
He preferred the blues songs. My favorite Doors songs are the more psychedelic ones.
The end.
The end's good, and When the Music's Over is good.
That is good.
Riders of the Storm.
Yeah.
Riders on the Storm.
What do you think about Spanish Caravan?
Spanish Caravan is a phenomenal song. Krieger plays, I believe it's Leyenda in the beginning, or his variation of Leyenda. I love Spanish Caravan, and
What are we on now?
Spanish Caravan.
and
The Doors.
People Are Strange.
People Are Strange.
Crystal Ship.
Crystal Ship was
Good
good.
one.
Unknown Soldier
Unknown Soldier.
was good.
Peace Frogs.
Peace Frogs. I can't think of too many songs of his that I don't like, even off the ones that weren't played on the album. Let's talk about Doors songs that weren't good.
I love the acapella one. Is it Wild Love? My wild love will ride her. It's just so good.
I don't know if I've heard that.
It's all the guys in the band just singing acapella.
Roadhouse Blues. I'll jam that
It
one.
sounds like a Chain Gang blues song. You got to hear it if you don't know that one.
Roadhouse
You can just
Blues.
hear like my wild, like the beat going with the sledgehammers along the side of the road,
Oh,
shackled.
shit. I
It's
like
just
that.
so great.
Riders on the Storm is odd
It's
and
a great
weird.
one. That was one of their last songs that they recorded.
Since you like the gangster rap, did you like the Snoop Dogg rendition of Riders on the Storm?
I doubt
No,
it.
I didn't
I probably
hear
it.
that.
I
I
probably
missed that
wouldn't
one.
like it.
I missed that one. I don't fool with although Tupac did a thing with Phil Collins.
Oh God, what a combination!
Yeah,
What a combination indeed.
really, he just used the music. Yeah, that Up in the Air Tonight music.
No, that was not Tupac. That was Eminem. That was
Tupac.
Stan. No, Stan was Dido.
Yeah,
It
Tupac.
And Stan was good.
Stan was good.
You can't say shit about Stan.
no.
when
I'm
he's
thinking
Dido.
Stan. He's referring to the Phil Collins lyrics.
Oh yeah, in the air tonight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. The I don't. It's naming my favorite.
Yeah, let's get back to your shit
I
now
think-
that we're an hour and a half in or whatever.
I think my favorite Doors song is
Mine's The End. What is yours?
I don't know. I can't even tell you.
Mine is The End simply because it was in Apocalypse Now Redux. Like, that was beautiful. Talk about a beautiful movie, too.
Let me Google it.
And when you're talking about Platoon with the sun being Charlie Sheen, It's almost, if you think about it, Charlie Sheen played in Platoon, and then Martin Sheen played in Apocalypse Now, but it's almost as if Charlie Sheen playing in Platoon, if you think about it, was kind of like Martin Sheen prior to Apocalypse Now. You've seen both movies, right? Mm-hmm. So could you not take Charlie Sheen's... could you not take Charlie Sheen in Platoon and then say Martin Sheen, an earlier movie made by his father, and put it directly after it? Young kid in Vietnam, goes through all this shit, and then gets all fucked up and becomes Martin Sheen, which is actually his father, and the movie was made before that, and put that afterwards. It almost seems like a sequel and a prequel.
Was that Martin Sheen in Apocalypse Now?
Yeah. It was Martin Sheen and Dennis
Backdoor
Hopper.
Man was
I
good.
know Dennis
Martin
Hopper.
Sheen and Dennis Hopper, yeah. How you remember at the beginning when he was listening to music, I don't lie, and he fell into the mirror and cut himself up, and he was laying there in the sheets and
Oh my
all of
God.
that and case on?
Apparently I need to watch that movie. It's been a long time.
Oh, you do need to watch that movie. You need to watch that movie like at least once a year.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yes.
Love Me 2 Times.
That's a good
Wasn't
one.
that
Going
who
away.
was that said that?
Love Me 2 Times.
Robert Redford?
No, that was Dennis Hopper, wasn't it? That was
No.
when he woke up in the morning. They were
Dennis
napalming
Hopper
the
was-
shit out of.
Dennis Hopper was the photographer. I think it was Robert Redford was
No,
the
Robert
Apache.
Duvall. Robert Duvall.
Robert Duvall. Yep. Robert Duvall was the
general.
Apache copper.
He was the general, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, Charlie can't surf. We can surf, but Charlie can't surf.
He's the one like walking on like a Confederate
Fucking
hat or
cavalry
something.
hat.
And,
yeah, no, it was a
like,
cavalry hat, man. That
without
that
a
guy
shirt.
was too cool. Yeah, yeah.
I
But
may not have
the
seen
movies
that one.
play out, and it's crazy because fucking the movies were 10, 15 years apart, and you got Charlie Sheen who's the son in the first movie, and then you've got Martin Sheen, who is the dad in the sequel, which actually came
I don't
before
remember.
Platoon.
It's been so
Oh,
long since
I've seen
No,
Platoon.
they weren't meant to be together, but I'm just saying if you watch the movies back to back, if you sit there and watch Charlie Sheen in Platoon, and then you turn the movie off and you watch Apocalypse Now with Martin Sheen, it's like the movies just progressed one to
Oh, wow,
another.
okay.
Like a private in Vietnam that went through all this terrible shit and then became a whatever Martin Sheen's rank was in
Oh,
Apocalypse Now, and watched that all the
So
way
it's like
through.
a prequel to Apocalypse Now.
But it's beautiful because it's father and son, but they were flip-flopped. And the
Yeah.
times were flip-flopped. And I wonder if they did that on purpose. Because I've watched the movies multiple times, and we know that Oliver Stone made Platoon, but did he make it with the direct inflection of it being a sequel
wasn't
to...
Oliver Stone in Vietnam?
He was. He
Yeah,
was on
he was,
the Joe Rogan podcast. Did you listen to that podcast?
Yeah, but I knew
was a
that
good
about
podcast.
Oliver Stone before, though, that he actually was involved. He was a...
He was
Not just involved, he was
in it.
directly in combat.
He was in
Yeah.
combat.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's...
So
Oliver Stone is
he's got
Batman.
something to say.
It- Tell me this isn't weird. My favorite Doors song is probably "Not to Touch the Earth." It gets so crazy. It's the one where we're talking about Kennedy getting shot, and it's got that wow 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 wow. It gets so trippy and angry.
I'm gonna look these songs up because there's two that you've mentioned that I haven't heard. This one is "Not to Touch the Earth." I
Yeah,
thought I'd heard
that
all the
one-
Doors songs.
That one is so fucking weird. And they did it great in the Doors movie. When I think it was like Fillmore or something. When
Oh, if it's- I'm-
it was getting trippier and trippier, and people were getting higher and higher and dancing around naked, and it was so great.
Talk about how good Jim Morrison was.
Or Val Kilmer?
Yeah, Val Kilmer.
Oh, he was excellent. You know, he is such an
And such a
underrated
stud.
actor.
Is he underrated, or is he just
Yes.
past his heyday?
I mean, he's past it, but even
'Cause he
back
was- 'cause he
then,
was
he was
pretty-
underrated.
I don't think so. He was huge in the
Oh.
'90s.
I
He
might
didn't
have
get
to
it.
agree
He didn't
with.
get a lot of accolades.
He
for
was
that
never as
Doors one.
popular as
Like Brad Pitt. They were
Yeah.
similar types though at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I mean his name came up, but it was at the bottom of that list when in fact it should have been at the.
I have a lot
I've gotta
of
agree.
movies I
If
really
there
like
was
Val Kilmer
he
in.
was underrated.
God, that's my trigger. Is
I
like
know it's
people
your trigger.
saying shit's underrated that's
but
not.
no, Val Kilmer may have been one of the underrated actors.
He was
of our
I
time.
thought he was
Underrated.
huge in the 90s.
He was, but to the extent of godlike, like Brad.
No, but he wasn't
Well,
in as
here's the
cool of
thing.
movies as
You-
Brad Pitt.
Tombstone.
Tombstone was cool.
Yes, Doc Holliday.
But I mean,
He
What?
played Doc Holliday.
but Interview
And
with a
he did it really
Vampire. I
well.
mean, come on. Brad Pitt was in some
you
freaking
think
great.
Brad Pitt was better than Val Kilmer?
Yeah. Well, at least I like his movies better that he was in.
Do you? Oh man!
Now you know
Him
Brad
and
Pitt's
Tombstone was
Fight
good.
Club.
Fight Club
Come
was
on,
good,
man.
but
Brad
Edward
Pitt's been
Norton.
some shit. I don't
Edward
know.
Norton stole that
Well,
from him.
I don't
boy.
know. They're
Edward
both
Norton
so
is
good.
a wonderful actor.
Have you
so
seen him in
good.
Death to Smoochie?
Death to
I
Smooch is
have
so
seen
dark.
that.
Death
I
to
have seen
Smoochie is
that,
so
yeah.
good.
It's really twisted.
It's just Death to Smoochie
I
just makes
haven't
me happy in the
Seen
underwear.
it in a long time.
It's so good. In every way, and the fact that it had Williams in it, like
Right, well, yeah, Robin
Robin,
Williams has
Powerful.
has that sad, dark,
yeah.
visceral.
What are
sense
these
of
cookies?
humor.
Little rocket ships.
Yeah, he's just such a great actor.
So, okay, so you guys have, I imagine, and maybe one of you guys have seen this third movie that I will mention, but at the very least, you've seen Birdcage,
Of course.
where Robin Williams played a homosexual.
I've seen everything practically.
Yeah, I
that
mean,
he's done.
okay.
Birdcage is.
So,
Starting
and
with
then you've
Popeye.
seen 1 Hour Photo. Yes.
It's him though.
Have I seen what?
1 Hour Photo.
No, I haven't seen that
I've
one.
seen that one where
Okay.
he's real dark and lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end, he has the knife, and no spoiler alert, but he's obsessed with the woman. And anyways, 1 Hour Photo. Oh my goodness, you haven't seen that? Okay, we need to see that.
I just got
you'll really enjoy it.
judgmentalized.
Yeah, a little bit.
Popeye was.
Hey, that was like a Doors song that I hadn't heard, so I felt the judgment off that. Anyways,
Well, when you say they're your favorite band,
they are, and that's why I'm like blown away. I have to go back and listen to it. Maybe it's something that I have heard and I just don't remember. Anyways, so there's Birdcage, there's 1 Hour Photo. Both of those kind of showed us that Robin Williams was not quite the silly trickster type man that we all expected. But even bigger than those two,
he's pretty flamboyant in Birdcage. Even though he was playing the bear, he was the
yeah,
masculine role in the relationship.
right? Well, I'm
it's
saying
still
that-
pretty-
because he has
okay.
all the hair. He had all that hair.
Okay, Cal,
He
it's
had
not
to.
it's not flubber. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting at.
Fucking
all right?
flubber.
It's not fucking flubber. So
Yeah, but Dead
all right.
Poet Society is my favorite.
Yeah,
oh
me too.
yeah, Dead Poet Society is good.
That's a
Good
sad.
Morning
that's a sad
Vietnam
one.
was
Good
good.
Morning Vietnam.
Do you want to
Yeah.
talk about the saddest movie that Robin Williams ever created? Was
More Than
World's Greatest Dad.
I've never seen that one.
I don't know. Dead
Of
Poet
course
Is
you
that when
Society
they were in
was
the
sad.
RV?
It's way sadder. All right, so World's Greatest Dad was a Robin Williams movie where his son accidentally killed himself while enjoying auto asphyxiation and watching pornography.
Oh, like Carradine.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Robin Williams was his father who worked at school, at his high school, as an English professor. And when the son gets caught and all of this comes out, it doesn't come out, but Robin Williams catches the corpse, catches the video, sees what his son was doing, and in order to save him from the shame of dying from auto asphyxiation, he writes a letter. Robin Williams does, about his son, explaining why he committed suicide and hung himself in the closet. Because he wants to save his son the shame of that and his family the shame of that. And that letter becomes like a national icon for people with social anxiety and depression. And it becomes a huge thing. And now he becomes famous because of it. And he has to live with the guilt of, should I be famous or should I not? I did this. Do you see where this is going, though? Do you see the depth of this movie? It was by far his best movie that he had ever created. by far. So, World's Greatest Dad is something that you guys need to watch and tell me about next time you come in. Because
I remember.
I'm telling you, it's fucking epic. It is 1,000 times better than any of the films you ever... You'll cry, like, for sure. Like, you'll at least tear up and you'll feel
Well, he was such a
strong
good
feelings.
actor,
Mm-hmm.
and
he had a
talk
dark
about
side.
somebody who's so unassuming, or you would not expect him to be able to be such a good actor. You know, he was, you know, his stand up is so
Raunchy.
crazy. Well, it's
Broadway
crazy
stand-up?
too,
The
and
cocaine
you
help.
got to keep. You know, up. Well, what the fuck is he saying now? He's bouncing over here. You know,
Yeah.
but then for him to do something like, and even Goodwill Hunting, I know that's like an overrated movie and people
It's a
might
good
not
movie,
like it,
though.
but
It is a good movie.
he was really good. I mean, talk about maturity and
I don't
depth.
see. I don't think. I don't think Goodwill Hunting's overrated.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know
I've
if you
heard
think
somebody make fun
anything's
of it, but
overrated.
it's really a good movie.
I think that's
And
appropriately
Matt
rated.
Damon wrote that.
It is a rather
He did.
popular
Him-
movie.
Yeah.
It's funny. Matt Damon.
Damon's
Matt
on top of his shit, too.
Matt Damon. Matt Damon.
Is that a South Park go back to?
Fucking World Police.
Oh, it is. It is World Police, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, Affleck and Matt Damon wrote that, and that was their peak. After that, they both, I thought,
Ben
decided to
Affleck?
suck. Yes, they wrote
No
that
shit.
together.
didn't know
It
that.
is.
Well, it
a
was so
great-
good. Well,
great
the
movie.
Bourne movies were good.
I don't know.
You
Those
didn't
kind
like
of.
'em?
I don't like all those
Well,
conspiracy.
after the
Yeah, I'm not
first one, it kind of got redundant.
They
It's
are,
like,
all
oh,
those movies are
okay.
the same. It's like almost like Tom Clancy, but not. I don't know. I find them all boring.
The only one that I actually found good was The Accountant with Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay.
The movie where he
I don't
plays
think
an
I
accountant
watched
assassin. Like, that was the only one that actually had depth to it.
the
like,
only
there was
movie-
a backstory, and it was good.
I can tell you the funniest movie that I actually like Ben Affleck in. I'm going to get shit for this. It's Chasing Amy.
I haven't seen that one. But that's like a culty, classic-y movie.
It's a Kevin
Like,
Smith film.
Yeah, Kevin
It's
Smith.
actually one of his ones that's
do like Kevin
less
Smith.
funny
Mm-hmm.
and more serious.
Really?
And Affleck did a good job in it, I thought.
I haven't seen a good
You gotta
Ben
be careful
Affleck
trying to
movie.
date a lesbian.
I haven't seen a good Ben Affleck movie, I'll be honest with you, but he's so good looking. Like, I was always like physically attracted to Ben Affleck.
he's
Like,
got
if I were
mole.
to pick
got
a
mole.
guy that, that like the perfect
mole.
representation of my type, it would be him.
Really?
Yeah, so like I would
I
watch his
think
movies.
I do acknowledge the irony that I am in fact a mole and I have a large mole.
Not saying I'm Ben Affleck, but damn near.
Well, anyway, I don't think he's that great of an actor.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah,
But there's been a
well,
couple
let's get
movies that he
real.
did a good job in.
Please don't say Reindeer Games.
Reindeer Games, that's the older one, isn't it?
No, Reindeer Games. He wasn't in Reindeer
Let's
Games.
see.
Ben Affleck?
No, Reindeer Games. That was before Ben Affleck's time.
It was the
That's
main
like Christopher
star of-
Walken.
No,
right?
that's him. That's Ben
No,
Affleck.
it's the main star of
Yeah,
Reindeer
but
What
Games.
that
am I
was like
thinking? Oh, I'm thinking
early
Deer Hunter. I'm
90s.
thinking Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
Never mind.
And it's hard to say. Was it Christopher Walken or was it Robert De Niro?
Okay.
They were
Have
both
you
good.
seen The Town?
Look for the Adam's apple, man.
The Town is,
Yes,
is
sir.
okay. Have you seen that one?
Which one?
The Town.
That was about a
Yeah.
heist, right?
Yeah, but it was
Yeah. It's
that
on
was
Netflix
pretty
right now.
good. I think I did see that Argo, but I didn't.
Oh
wasn't
yeah, we
that
watched
interested
Argo.
in
It was.
that.
It was.
Telling you, the Accountant movie, if you haven't seen it, you'll really enjoy it because it's honestly it's his best performance in my opinion
Okay.
because he played an autistic guy, which
Not a very far stretch.
yes, exactly, and
You know,
yeah,
he's
no, he
a
nailed it.
pretty bad alcoholic and a gambler. That Ben Affleck. Of course, he would be my type.
that Ben
of
Affleck.
course.
Does he fit every criteria?
Every damn one. No. Kidding.
Alcoholic and a gambler. That's hilarious.
So
Not really.
you guys.
So no, it's
Not
quite
fucking
sad
really.
actually. Yeah, it's a little bit sad, isn't it?
Anyway.
So
Where
let-
are we heading with yours though?
We-
Because you've almost weaseled your way out.
I have
at the
almost
2 hour
weaseled my
mark.
way out
Yes.
of my guilty musical pleasure.
Okay.
So you guys are still guessing.
All right,
So,
I want one more
that's
guess.
where we
No,
were.
no, you guys can have a bunch of guesses. I'm not limiting you.
Okay.
Because I don't think you'll get it.
Callie likes.
What is my guilty pleasure?
If we nail it, you're going to be honest and tell us.
Yeah, yeah.
Early 2000s alternative.
Is that like,
Paranoia, paranoia, coming to get me.
what's that?
I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
I know what that is. Who did
Like
that?
Sum
I don't know,
41.
but it's really,
No,
that's a good
is
song,
that Sum
though.
41?
It's not
That's
a
Sum
jokey song.
41.
No, but that was a good song.
I don't really
Anything in the Sum 41 branch?
Sum 41 I actually kind of like, no, but they're not a good, they're very talented musicians.
I actually
I know
like
they're kind of pop punk, but they also have some like Slayer covers and stuff that they did live. Like they're actually very talented musicians.
Do you remember the movie The Faculty?
Flagpole Sitta.
Oh, ew.
That's like a one-hit wonder. Yeah.
Do you remember the movie The Faculty?
No.
Is that
About-
where they turned
They
into...
sniffed the tubes full of cocaine, and all the
and
teachers
they-
in the school were aliens, and they were trying not to become aliens. Okay,
That song's in that movie.
all of the music was like Sum 41-esque music.
That like,
Yeah.
that
and
like,
that's what I'm referring to, was like that I miss high school, man, type music.
yeah, like American
Or
Pie, like
Third-
early 2000s
Yes.
pop punk.
Third Eye
100%.
Blind.
Yep.
Third Eye Blind
Yep.
and
Yeah.
like
And American Pie. You guys
I
just
saw
nailed
Third
it.
Eye
Blink
Blind.
182.
Yes. That would be my guess.
No.
No? Okay.
Limp Bizkit, hate that shit.
Oh, I don't like Limp Bizkit either.
Makes you want to break stuff. The
Like your fucking face. That's gonna.
no, the you
Bush.
probably you say Bush?
Bush.
Oh
No,
God,
they're very
Bush-
talented.
Bush
I
is very
know.
good.
I know, but they're
Glycerin.
from that.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I could sit there and listen to that.
I'll admit,
Yeah.
I'll admit to that without being
Bush
guilty.
is European,
I
aren't
love
they?
Bush.
They're
Yeah,
British.
Yeah, the British.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're
Bush,
great
Bush
band.
never made a bad
Machine.
song.
Oh, that's something I'll like turn up Machine
Every
Head.
my favorite
Yeah.
song from
Buddy.
them is everything.
Oh, you got good taste,
I do,
Nana.
I do.
All right.
Everything Zen is my favorite. From Bush.
No
No, they're very talented.
Yeah.
No, you Biggie's probably not going to be able to get it, but Nana might.
Okay. You just did vodka in my face. It's okay.
It's not fun.
It's okay.
Maybe it was. I don't know. At this point.
So, like boy bands?
No, I don't.
I don't
It's not going to be a
see-
boy
I don't
band.
see Kelly as a boy band kind of guy.
It's not disco
No.
because you've already covered that.
It ain't gonna be some beta shit.
Elvis.
Is it some beta shit?
I would never
'Cause you
be
looked at me.
ashamed of saying that I loved Elvis. Elvis is fucking amazing.
Elvis was good.
I love Elvis. Fat Elvis, thin Elvis, doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I love all Elvis. We can go on together. We suspicious minds.
You picked the best song too, didn't you? You just had to go after it.
It's the best. It's so heartfelt. Oh, be still wild. All right. Adele.
Okay. Can we get a hint?
Yes. I feel like I gave you one when I said that you're probably not going to get it, but she is.
How in the hell is that a hint?
Celine Dion.
We've talked about
Cher.
shit from the 1700s
Those kinds
to
of ladies.
today.
But it's something that she knows more about than you probably do because of age.
So it's 80s.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, now we've narrowed it down greatly.
All right. 80s.
It's just going to be fucking embarrassing.
So it's gonna be something like
Are you talking about a band, a genre? What,
a song, or what? Yeah. What do you? What
We're
do
just
you
talking
want
about
my
guilty
folk-
pleasure. It could be a song, it could be an album. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a wide variety.
Whip it good.
But
Da-na-na-na-na.
the heat is on you, my
You
friend,
must whip
because
it. That was a really good song.
Devo's a cool band.
They're kind of punk rock in their own
Yeah, they're
way.
kind of punk rock. No,
Yeah.
Devo's a great band.
So like, it's got to be a ballad. It's gonna be a ballad, isn't it? So,
Well, no.
because that's the most embarrassing.
Every road has its thorn.
No, that's shit.
I don't like cock rock.
No, like
Never heard it described that way. I don't like it. It's all on you, man.
fudge.
Yeah.
What seems so out of character for me?
Like New Kids on the Block or Tiffany.
I used to
Madonna?
I think we're alone now.
Alone now.
I used to have New Kids on the Block, the cassette tape.
I'm just trying to think of some gay 80s shit.
Stuff. The
I wear my sunglasses.
but I don't like it. But I
That's a cool ass fucking song. I don't care who you are because it makes no sense. It's like,
It's-
okay, I want to wear my sunglasses at night too.
I'm going to. I'll give you a hint. It has to do with
Peter Gabriel.
David
well,
Bowie?
the old Genesis is pretty good.
Yeah.
Even some of his solo stuff's pretty good.
Bon
Book of Love is a
Jovi.
great song from Genesis. And
I like Follow You.
and,
Follow You.
Sticks.
Will you
Bon Jovi.
follow
I hate
me?
Bon Jovi.
Oh. What about Sticks?
Think Steel Mill.
Follow me.
Iron Maiden?
John Mellencamp. That's Farm.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
It's Steel Mill?
like working in steel factories and shit.
Oh, dang.
Should I just say it?
Yeah, just say it, please.
Flashdance soundtrack.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Fucking Irene Cara, like
I
what a
love
feeling.
That. Yes! Hell yeah! Yes! It's so empowering.
Maniac. She's a maniac,
Yes,
Oh my
it's so
God.
perfect.
I will fucking if I just want to just be a total spaz, I'll just put on Flashdance soundtrack.
Yes. I didn't even think about that.
It's so out of character for
It's
me.
the best, though, isn't it?
It's
It's
so-
so empowering.
I
I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's like,
As a woman who works in a steel factory, I really don't know.
I love that.
Like Rosie
I
Riveter
I
over
really
here.
love that
Building
so much.
submarines and shit.
Yeah,
It's
I love that.
it's a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
That is my embarrassing guilty pleasure. So now that we've all gone, let's switch it around. And what is something that is super popular and super well liked that is blasphemy to hate that you dislike, but everyone else will go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Oh. I know, but I gotta look him up because I hate him that much.
And it can't be like Michael Bolton because people always like shit on Michael Bolton.
Have you seen him with 3 Island?
Oh well, okay, he's pretty.
Bee Gees
funny.
wrote that song too. Is a very good song that Michael Bolton sung.
God. Okay.
Bee Gees get audience.
Yeah,
Bee
did you
Gees
see
get
his
no
Pirates
credit.
of the Caribbean
Yeah.
remix?
Lonely
my
Island's
God.
hilarious.
Lonely Island's great.
All right, what am I doing?
We are the music that
That it's like I can't admit that I hate.
yeah, like if you say it in public, like I really don't like them, people will go, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
Oh, I don't.
Oh, I got one right off the bat.
What isn't?
I really don't like Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I see. This sounds weird. He's so funny. Like I love like on SNL, like a lot of his like Dick in a Box,
yeah.
and Three Way with like Lady Gaga and Mother Lover.
Yeah.
Like his funny stuff, I love. I guess I don't really know much about his like. He's got some good stuff.
I don't really like Justin Timberlake. Nothing against him. I mean, he's a cute guy, but
I guess you kind of said yours too. You don't really like the Beatles. and that's kind of blasphemy.
Yeah.
That
I don't like, okay, maybe I should clarify. I don't like anything popular music. I don't like
other than the
popular-
Flashdance soundtrack, clearly.
Honestly, you guys.
You like 80s pop, obviously.
But you take those
'Cause you like Cyndi
individually
Lauper.
and they're not pop.
Cyndi Lauper's about as pop as they get. I can listen to Goonies Are Good Enough on repeat for like 20 times in a row and not get tired of that shit. Especially the video with like from the Goonies. She hated that song too.
It's really not that good.
I love that song, but that's my childhood.
I like that. I drove all night. That one.
She Bop is.
She Bop.
That's the one about masturbation. And you didn't believe me. You didn't believe me that was about masturbation.
Yeah, I thought
Is it?
I thought it was just simply about having sex. Like
That's-
she's bopping a dude.
Yeah, she's bopping herself.
Because that's what they that's what they said in the 80s. I'm gonna go bop him.
She bop.
Oh shit!
Now she bops herself.
She bops. Cindy talked about bopping. Have you seen her? She's gorgeous, and she's like in these commercials for. But she's like in her 60s. She's absolutely freaking gorgeous. She held up way better than Madonna.
Well, probably because she's not a raging borderline.
Yeah, she's like a real person.
Madonna is the type of person
Madonna's
that I would.
sick. Like she's not well.
She still dates 25-year-olds.
Wasn't she like the one time I blown up the White House? I mean, she's not well.
I don't know, but she's really strange.
She's
She's
borderline.
the gap tooth type of person that I would do it to and hold some chloroform.
Well, you
over her
and
mouth.
you and thousands of other people who already
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I like.
I like the gap tooth.
I guess. So
It's
you,
just so
you don't really like
bad.
the Beatles.
I don't like
The
pop.
Beatles though are a funny brand of pop because they define pop in every album. No matter how experimental they got, they define.
I don't hate the Beatles.
They were on the front
there
line.
are some
Yeah.
individual songs that I do like, but as a whole, I'm not a Beatles fan.
Yeah. What about you? What's that band that everybody raves about that you just can't stomach?
You guys aren't probably going to appreciate it. But one thing that I know from dating girls that are in their mid-20s is... Yeah, I know. I laugh too. Yeah, they're a terrible genre of human being. Their fascination is this person, and I will show you a picture of him. His name is Kane Brown.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. Have you heard of him?
No.
He's a pop country singer, and
He doesn't look in like pop country.
Nope. He's got a Chinese symbol on his neck and piercings, and he looks like he's about good 17.
Is he popular though? Because I mean, we've never heard of him.
Terribly popular, and if I played some songs, you would hear them, and you'd be like, "Yeah, I've heard that on the radio," and I switched it immediately. But the crazy thing is, the kid's got a voice that is so low,
Very baritone.
so low on the baritone bass that it's disgusting. And
Like Barry White.
all of the women are like, he's got such a meaty, sexy voice. And I'm like, yeah, but he's 17 and he wears the $300 jeans. So I just automatically... He is the one... No, I don't want to say that because I can't confirm it. But he's disgusting in every way that I would find somebody that is into pop country disgusting. Like you were talking about Garth Brooks Forward. He is...
What are you doing?
I clicked on things.
So what about like, let's get away from like just current mainstream. We're too old for that shit.
Okay.
What about like
Yeah, I got
famous?
Can we? Because that is the person that I hate the most in the music industry. But it's so new that I barely know about it. So I don't expect y'all to know about it.
Let's look at, for you, someone that...
Okay,
or
will
a
you go ahead
band.
with yours, and I will think of a band that has actually stood the test of time
Yeah.
that still sucks balls.
Beatles
that
songs
fair?
I like as follows. Come Together.
I don't really like that one.
Hey Jude. Let It Be.
Hey Jude's great.
Let It Be.
Let It Be is a great one.
And then
You like the Paul songs.
I guess I do.
I have so many questions.
Even though Come Together is John, but the other two are definitely Paul.
How do you not like Come Together?
I like the bass line, but John Lennon was just trying to put a bunch of shit together to throw people off. It's
Come Together has everything that you could want in a good song.
I don't know. It's just not one of the Beatles songs that I love.
Really?
It's good. A bad Beatles song is better than most
Lucy in the
bands.
Sky with Diamonds.
That's a great song.
That would actually probably be like I like Come Together, but Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds would probably be towards the end of my list that were popular
I love
Beatles
Sgt.
songs.
Pepper's Lonely Heart. That's such a great album.
My
get it.
guitar gently weeps, of course.
Come Together,
That
though.
one's
When I
good.
hear Come Together hit on my speakers with the amount of bass that's in it, whoa! I'm like, nah, this is a song. This is a song from yesterday, and they're like, nah, this was made like 50 years ago, and I'm like,
I guess
really?
I do like Paul better than John.
I like John songs better
You
typically.
like Paul McCartney, eh?
I do.
I'm more of a John person.
I really like Dewey Cox. When all
So
of them were like,
here,
"Ooh, little
so let me
soul there,
get
Paul
into
McCartney."
my blasphemy here.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about mine while you do.
You we'll see with this group here. You never know because we tend to kind of like things that are weird and esoteric. I adamantly dislike Led Zeppelin.
Really?
I really,
No issue with that.
That's a
really-
little
I
bit.
have no issue with
That's
that.
a little blaspheme.
That's the point,
That's fine.
right? That's what this conversation's
Wow.
about.
I'm not really a big
Good
fan of
one.
them either. I mean, Stairway to Heaven,
Meh.
it was okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I
Who was the ones that?
That's them. Yeah, the immigrant.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
Yeah, you
that's
know.
immigrant song.
Yeah, that's one of
Immigrant
my
Song was
favorite.
okay, and Stairway to Heaven was
Immigrant
okay.
song has kind of like a early metal vibe to it because it's kind of
It's
heavy.
good.
Yeah,
That one's
Yeah.
tolerable.
yeah.
Their first album is like Dazed and Confused. Like their first album still had a little bit of that '60s vibe, psychedelic to it. And you know, like some of those songs that Page had written on their first album were in the Yardbirds, which was a great psychedelic band. But for the most part,
You don't like that? I love
is
that.
that Kashmir?
Yeah, Kashmir when he starts screaming. I love that part.
I think what it is for me, I don't like Robert Plant's vocals.
It's just intense.
I don't think I like his vocals. I really, but you know, this is funny. This is gonna be funny. Almost no band from the '70s that I like. I don't like. I think there's only one band from the '70s I actually like. You could probably guess it.
Can you name some bands from the 70s? Because I'm having
Fleetwood
problems.
Mac is one of my
Hate
favorite.
Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, I love Fleetwood Mac.
All right.
Everything.
I don't like Fleetwood Mac.
Love
Really?
Fleetwood
I don't
Mac.
really like. No.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't.
Name some 70s bands, because like I know all 60s
Leonard-
and 90s, but
Leonard-
70s and 80s I just didn't give a fuck on.
Leonard-
Bee Gees.
Yeah, Bee Gees. Don't like Bee Gees. I don't really like Leonard Skinner.
Fog Hat.
I don't like Aerosmith. I don't like.
You don't like Arrow?
Like old
the
Aerosmith is the best. Old 70s
Toys-
Aerosmith.
Callie.
Toys in the Attic or whatever is
And the train
sort
kept
of
a rolling
listenable.
all
Aerosmith
night long.
literally
That,
has-
but see, that's an old. That's an
I'm in
old.
love,
That's an
but I
old
just
blues
couldn't
song.
tell
That's
her
different.
so
That's a
well.
cover. That's a cover.
You should respect Aerosmith though,
Fuck
just
Aerosmith.
from no, sir, excuse me. You should appreciate his vocals just from a musical standpoint. Like they have done tests on his throat to see where the
Why he sounds so bad.
like the fucking no, man.
Dream
He's
On,
a-
he didn't sound.
Come
he was
on,
very,
man.
His voice was smooth.
He was very
Dream
smooth
On.
in Dream On. You would. I
almost don't
for the
recognize him.
longest time. I didn't even think that was Aerosmith because it's
Yeah.
actually listenable, and there.
We'll talk after this.
I'm trying to think. The only band from the 70s that I actually like is Black Sabbath.
Oh, Black Sabbath is good. War Pigs.
Paranoia.
See, I don't even
Pigs?
like. I don't like that album as much.
Do you like War Pigs?
No, that's that album. I don't really like Paranoid.
I like Paranoia.
Maybe that, but I think that's also just because I used to listen to the hell out of that tape when I was little. I think I've just heard it too much. My Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is fucking great. You know, Children of the Grave, just Black Sabbath title track, just fucking great. Electric Funeral, hell yeah. Love Black Sabbath. Shit, I could even listen to some of the Dio stuff. What are other 70s bands? I just really don't.
Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller Band. Yeah, I can't handle that shit. I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight toker.
Do you like Steve?
70s bands.
I don't like Steve Miller Band.
She's Googling 70s bands.
I am,
Just list them and
man.
I'll probably tell you I don't like them.
Deep Purple, The Who.
Don't like Deep Purple.
Fuck, the Eagles.
Tell me you like The
I
Who.
hate the
Don't
Eagles.
you hate the Eagles?
I don't like.
Who hates the Eagles?
I'm glad I'm on this side of the table.
California.
Jesus.
I can't tell you why. Hotel
I'm glad we're not
California.
like 100 strong, because I don't want to see anyone crucified.
All right.
You don't like the Eagles?
No.
What?
It doesn't
Why?
like Eagles.
They're 70s shit. I don't like 70s music.
Hotel California?
Boring.
Rolling Stones are 70s.
Don't. They're 60s.
Well, they're 60s too.
And I don't like Rolling Stones that much.
Pink Floyd, of course.
Don't
is
like
a-
Pink Floyd.
I
Oh, my
grew up on
dear
Pink
God.
Floyd, so
Yeah.
I have by loyalty.
More than loyalty. Dear God. Dear God.
Yeah, I mean, I
Pink
do
Floyd
like
is
Pink
like
Floyd. Learning to
Probably
Fly is
second
my
favorite next to... Oh, I like the whole Animals album. You want to talk
Oh,
Pink
I love
Floyd?
the Animals.
I'm obsessed with Pink
Eric
Floyd. More
Burden.
so than probably... My favorite is The Doors. Hands
Yeah.
down. I love The Doors. I love Jim Morrison. But do I know more about Pink Floyd? Absolutely.
We'll see.
Like, Pink Floyd is
Don't-
one of my favorite. And the Animals,
Yeah,
the reason that I
love
love that
them.
album so much is because it was industrial Europe. Like, it had that feel to industrial Europe pre-World War II.
Did you watch The Wall?
Powerful. Yeah, and The Wall was later, but
Yeah.
Animals was
Animals-
the original.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
And the song Dog?
We used to smoke pot and watch The Wall. I mean, I don't.
Jethro Tull, Blue Oyster
Don't like.
Cult.
Well, I like some
I like-
Jethro Tull.
that one song. No, two songs by Blue
I like
Oyster Cult.
some Jethro Tull.
Okay.
I'm. Don't mistake me not.
Cowbell.
Don't. Yeah.
We need more cowbell.
don't.
More cowbell.
More
don't-
cowbell.
Don't mistake me disliking the music as not respecting them and their influence. I don't even
In
like.
regards to Pink Floyd.
I don't even like Jimi Hendrix, and I think he's sloppy. But I respect what he did with distortion.
But his
and-
slop became the standard.
He had to experiment.
and I.
It was sloppy.
Oh no! Like I said, don't mistake me not
Jim
respecting.
Morrison was sloppy.
Not really.
In
Not in his recordings.
in his lyrical arrogance.
No, I don't think he
Some
was
of
sloppy.
it was a little.
I don't think
It was
sloppy.
pretty fucking
The
sloppy.
Lizard King's pretty crazy.
Oh
Yeah, exactly.
But crazy,
That's what I'm
crazy
referring
and
to.
sloppy on the like. I'm not sure Hendrix could play his own songs the same way every time, and even he said that on the Dick Cavett show. And actually, I like Jimi Hendrix. I watched him on the Dick Cavett show not too long ago.
Dick
He's very
Cavett-
humble.
I'm gonna
I
get
really
really,
like-
really nerdy right now, but Dick Cavett was like a really good interviewer,
was
wasn't
great.
he? Like
They don't
people
make- they don't make-
told the truth on his
They
show.
don't make talk
I know,
shows.
got nerdy.
They don't make talk shows like Dick Cavett anymore. That was such a great one.
Yeah, like people.
They could have
he
real
he could
honest,
get
open
people-
dialogue.
You
Yeah.
were for a second. I'm sorry. It's totally off topic, but for a second, one of my Marines that was from California. I recently attended a Marine's funeral out in Iowa, and while I was at the funeral, there was another Marine that showed up from California, and he was like the father of our platoon, and we loved him. Like undoubtedly. Like, we would do anything for this dude. He was the same rank as us. We didn't give a fuck. He was like 10 years older than us, though. And we loved him like a dad. And he took charge and ownership of the Marine Corps, or of Air Platoon. And when he was discussing the death of my young Marine, who was younger than me, very sad. He was like 30, passed away of cancer. And when he was discussing it with the mother, though, he reminded me of, I just automatically went back to Callie and I was like, dude, no, you're a good interviewer, because that's what he did to the mother of my young Marine that had passed away, because he was just sitting there asking general questions. And it sounded to me, because I listened to the JRE so much, it sounded to me like one of those episodes.
Well, you gotta ask questions without judgment. All those people like Colbert and he was Kimmel and stuff, there's insufferable.
He was a perfect interviewer, though. And as we were sitting there watching, it was me and like 3 or 4 of my other buddies who were in the Marine Corps, and we were sitting there listening to him. And at the end, we all went, because it was like 100,000 Mexican folk, and it was so fun, because they brought tequila and stuff, and they wanted to celebrate my Marine's life, which was awesome. So we all went out, we were drinking tequila and shit, and we were like, yo, what was V not the best fucking interviewer of anybody of all time, asking about her son's life? And we were all laughing, and we were like, yeah, it really was. And for some reason, it just dawned in my head that that was you. And I wanted to stop you and be like, yeah, you remember when you was telling me about... And then it dawned on me. I was like, oh, no, that's a completely different person. But what I'm getting at... yeah, no. And that's why I kind of laughed and had to stop everything. Because I was like, this isn't even the same guy. But you could be a good interviewer. Because you were sitting here talking about interviewers. And I was sitting there thinking to myself... No, he's a good interviewer himself, to be sitting there giving another interviewer props. And it just dawned on me that that is a specialty trait that he has, as well as that what you have.
Let people talk and show interest.
It's true. And you ask depthful questions.
Dick Cavett would go
to
deep.
Hear.
Dick Cavett could take it as deep. He was brilliant. And it still is. He's alive.
He didn't give a shit about the audience.
No, he got booed sometimes. He would say what needed to be said, and they had touchy subjects. They had heated conversations. And there's a great Dick Cavett show with Norman Mailer and Gore Vidal, and they're having a cat fight. And,
so his honesty got him in trouble?
And Dick Cavett's just doing a great job moderating a drunk Norman Mailer. And... like, he just, I love, they just TV in general just isn't what it used to be. I don't even think music's what it used to be. And it just all lacks soul to me. And I know there's some good music coming out now, don't get me wrong. But we're actually kind of getting towards the end of our time.
Yeah. No, I don't know of any modern music that I give the props that you do.
I do but I don't listen in a lot of metal bands and folk bands like Wardruna. Fucking Wardruna, man.
Oh, Wardruna? Okay. Well,
yeah, there's some great music out there now, man.
Have they produced anything since like 2016 though?
Yeah, he just didn't. Einar Selvik just did a new album like a couple months ago. He just released it.
Is that the one you just sent me?
I don't know.
It was a female singing at first on a beach.
That may be Mercure.
You've sent me some sexy Viking shit.
Heil Lung, I love. No, there's some great new music.
Me and him appreciate the hell out of...
So you like the rah-rah-rah?
No. That's Scandinavian folk.
I don't mean to make fun of it. I just don't understand.
He has sent me 2 different things. One time he sent me metal Viking music, metal Scandinavian. That ain't me. But old school Scandinavian, like...
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like Viking music.
Yeah.
It's like shit that you would go drink the blood out of a skull of an enemy type music. Like that, when he sends me that, I'm like, All right, cuz I'm gonna sit here and write like 3 reports to that.
Yeah, it's
and I do. I sit there and
it's
all
like
day.
folk music.
Yeah, folk music. Yeah,
And there's some great 70s, believe it or not. There's a band called Folk, and they're Scandinavian. And
If you know of
and
any-
and they do great folk music, and they're 70s.
Send
But I
me
mean, it's not
all
like anyone's
that.
ever heard of them.
well, nobody's ever heard of Wardruna.
Yes, they had. Dude, he's done the soundtrack for
Okay.
the Viking
No,
series.
no, I'm
He's done
not-
the soundtrack for Valhalla.
I'm not
video
saying
game.
that no one
Assassin's
knows it.
Creed.
I'm saying that no normal person. If I talk to anybody other than you,
I would say now because he's done the Viking soundtrack and Assassin's Creed soundtrack. People know him now.
they know his songs. But
Yeah, they might not know if you say
if they're
Einar
not a
Selvik, they
musical
might-
person, if they're not a audio engineer,
Well, the
or a
reason
musician,
the
they're
reason
not
I
gonna know
even
that
know
is,
who he is, he used to be the drummer in Gorgoroth, which is a Scandinavian black metal band.
which is what you sent me, and I was like, "This is weird. This is not my kind of music."
I would rather have friends like that though, instead of friends that are like, "Oh, did you hear the new so and
the new Luke
so?"
Kane song?
Did you
Whatever
hear?
that
Did you hear
little
the new
guy-
Megan Trainor
Oh,
song?
God.
Yeah, she's talking about her boobs this time.
Yeah.
No,
100%. No,
Yeah.
There's a
I
pop
agree.
singer that talks about her boobs that I do like, and that's Shakira.
Shakira.
But you know, she writes her
Oh.
own songs and she
Ah.
plays
Yeah.
guitar, and her Spanish stuff is great.
she got
He
that
likes her
waist
butt.
that just don't quit.
Oh yeah, Shakira's great.
He likes her butt.
Her boobs are small and humble, not to be confused with mountains.
Yeah, that's right.
Whenever, wherever, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that's a pretty good way to end it. So how about cue the music?
Cue the music, man.
Cue the music, man.
Music.
Thanks for listening to the Biggie Callie Show. It's been a crazy ride, and Nana's here, you know. So come on back next week and give us a friendly ear. We'll have ourselves a merry time and drink American beer.